Alrighty, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Renegade Operative, and this is another Buster Wolf podcast. We haven't done one since like 6 months, I believe. I think the last one was like DOA, when we talked about all that and how we felt about that franchise. But now it's time for regular fighting game news. A lot has happened in the past 6 fucking months. We're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna introduce my panel. It's only three of us, but it still should be a very entertaining time. The show must go on. First, we have Mr. Kaneki.
Holy shit, you said 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months of no fighting game news being talked about on this podcast. It was like, oh shit. But
That's insane.
I had to move. I had to fight Sagat on the side of the street. And then I had to move after he beat my ass. So I had to deal with that.
So when you'll play Street Fighter 1 on stream?
Never. That game is so trash. I don't know why people want me to play it, man.
For the content.
I can't beat the character before Sagat, so I have no opportunity of winning whatsoever.
Oh, you mean, what's his name? Adon?
Yeah, Adon. I don't even think I got to Adon, actually.
Oh, then you must have fought someone before him.
It was the weird Chinese guy in the hat.
Oh, fuck him.
Fuck him. Andre, it is your turn. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Howdy, it's Andre B. Venom, and yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've done a Buster of a lot of fighting game news. Actually, last couple of months, a lot of fighting game news, some big releases have come out, and a lot of big character reveals in the last, I'd say, week or so. So yeah, this is gonna be a really fun one.
And we're gonna jump right into it with question number one. I was told to move this one up since it has been a pretty interesting controversy going on with some of these guest characters being added in fighting games. So right off the top, it seems like there has been some controversy with the two newly added guest characters in Garou City of Wolves. First we have Rolando, which is just throw him under a bus. And then we have DJ Salvatore Ganacci. Most criticism was aimed at their animations and Rolando actually having a case of sexual assault. What do you think of guest characters like these from real life being added to a fighting game? Do you hate it? Are you for it? And what do you think about this ongoing controversy with SNK and adding these two characters? And Andre, I want you to go first.
Oh boy. Alright, so here's my feelings on Ronaldo and Salvatore being in the game. Personally, very lazy. Like, extremely lazy, considering that this is a sequel to Garou, and what's wild is that some characters got cut from the roster, and that being Freeman and Grant, and I think it was one of the characters' brothers, the one who does Taekwondo. They're in Save the Wolves, but as cameos, but not on the base roster. And I think what's even worse is that Andy Bogart and Joe Higashi, they're DLC, so it's like, why aren't they in like the base roster at launch? It really makes no sense. As for the characters, for the guests, I mean, Salvatore, I got warmed up to him. I mean, his fighting style is really goofy as fuck. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Dr. B from Tekken, with just how ridiculous, with like his animations, how he's like flying through the air, using the disco ball and some crap like that. And I'd say I've warmed up a little bit, but I still think he's a weird pick. And then finally asked for Ronaldo. I don't like Ronaldo at all. I think he looks really fucking stupid. Like, pardon my language, but he looks really dumb and just does not fit the visual style of the game at all. So, honestly, in a sense, it's like Ganacci. I mean, yeah, he's really goofy, so I can kind of maybe give him a bit of a free pass, but it's like, why have celebrities in the game to begin with? But for Ronaldo, it's like, what's really the point? But I'm not a fan of it. very lazy, and I feel like it's gonna age really poorly in the future if they if Ronaldo keeps getting convicted for shit. Because I know of what's the IRL stuff with him, so yeah. So honestly, but I don't think fighting games should have IRL people, especially if they get in really big controversies, and it just feels really weird playing a celebrity in a fighting game. I mean, shoot, Call of Duty does this with Nicki Minaj for one thing, but yeah, all I gotta say is it's just not a fan at all, and I just think it's stupid. That's all I gotta say.
Kaneki, it is your turn. What do you think of this controversy with City of Wolves and the guest characters?
All right. I gotta channel my inner rad for a second. Why'd you add a fucking rapist in the game? Adding him, why him of all celebrities? If they're gonna go all out with celebrities, they might as well add any other soccer player that's famous over there. Why him? For some reason, it's is that the only soccer player they know by heart in terms of popularity over there? And surprisingly, I was proven wrong with when I said during all that was he was gonna sell the game despite because internationally of how SNK games sell well internationally. I heard that game is flopping in sales. So the fact that even he isn't moving sales should tell you a lot. The other dude, I really don't care about the DJ dude. It's whatever. The animation looks awful on both of them though. Are they added last minute? Is that why they look garbage?
I think so. I think they were added very last minute. That's why I think Anachi animates the way he does.
I wanna save my juice for when it's my turn.
Hold on. And there was a bit of a other controversy about whole SNK because the fact the majority of their stocks is bought by Saudis. I'm going to be honest with you right now. A lot of people don't give a damn. Like, even normal people don't give a damn. The only people, and I'm going to say this too, the only people that give a damn is people, rightfully so, actually, boycotting the game. But there's a lot of people that actually don't care. You want folks to boycott SNK games? Well, you got to have to convince those same people that's playing Marvel Rivals right now, which is also by NetEase Games. And if you know about them, well, good luck trying to boycott these type of games that are made by, evil people.
All right, so here's my opinion. I'll start off with the boycott thing because I find that to be interesting. Number one is that I do agree. It doesn't matter what your favorite product is or who is pulling the strings and whatnot. There's always going to be some shady shit that a developer or a publisher or someone does that will put a community at unease, rather. It's just a common thing. I mean, I keep saying it, the people that make our phones have been slaving over them, and just a lot of other shit that is really, really bad, but people still use them. People don't kind of care. They are aware of them, but they don't bring it up often.
And they want to boycott everything. We all should be farmers at that point.
Yeah, we all should go on the farm and live and make our crops and make vegetables, because that's the only way you're gonna avoid super corporate controversy from other regions and places. But I will say, if people are keeping their boycotts, that's fine. But I mean, there are people that are playing the game. You got Max playing it. He said he's not gonna take any sponsorship from SNK for the game, but he still was gonna play the game no matter what. When I saw that, as for... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before you continue, I would say a natural boycott is not playing the game, period, or any of their future projects.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is a real boycott. You don't give it exposure, you don't give it attention, you don't give it money. It's literally James Rolfe. When he said he's not watching Ghostbusters, he meant it, and that's the definition of a real boycott. To sit there and say, "Well, I'm gonna buy the game in some capacity," is like, what is that? You're still playing the game, and if you like the game enough and you buy more characters, because I think only that season 1 of the character pass is free, you're gonna wanna, like, there's that human impulse of people, if they like something, they're gonna want more of it, and it's just like you're in the trap at that point. For the characters themselves, these two, look, DJ Salvatore, whatever the fuck his name is, when he was doing DJ beats in the world itself and doing combos off of them, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why? I get his whole gimmick, but even something as outlandish as like KOF with like flames coming out of people's hands and stuff like that, even that has like some parameter of, well, it comes from somewhere. This is just like out of nowhere bullshit from this DJ, and it don't look like it even syncs up with anything because of how stupid the animation looks. Same with Rolando, like kicking soccer balls at people and doing spikes. It just does not look fine. From what I'm saying, I just don't get why they decided to do these weird ass looking animations when everyone else has great animations. You look at Rock or Terry or even like any other character, but you look at these two and it's like, oh, half baked, half performed, and it just seems like they didn't care. They just wanted these two guest characters to get the money, put them in the game, get more notoriety, and boom, they called it a day. Oh, good.
Me thinks, and here's my crazy conspiracy theory: the other companies is gonna eventually follow suit. Now, will they probably put out better celebrities? Absolutely, but the players is not gonna give a damn because on Twitter, they state they don't want celebrities, period, in their fighting games, like real life celebrities.
I
The,
have
on,
a point
the
of
only
contention. Good.
okay, the only exception is add Snoop Dogg as a playable character in
Yes,
Tekken.
yes, because
Only exception.
I'm fine with that. Snoop Dogg and Tekken would be fine.
he already has like a stage, so if he just gets up out of the pimp chair and beats the shit out of everyone, I would literally mark out for that.
That's like the only rare thing they can do with celebrities. Other than that, no one wants celebrities in their games like that.
My only point of contention, because I don't want to see celebrities in games either. I don't want to see like, oh, you just put in Keanu Reeves for some random reason and it doesn't make sense. That I can understand, because it's like, why are you putting in these big names? Like, what kind of moves are they gonna have? I could see it being sensible for something like Def Jam, where, yeah, they're street fighters, they fight on the street and they don't have the like superpowers or nothing, so it makes sense. But for them to show up in a random Tekken or something like that, you're literally fighting like Jeffrey D. Morgan without the Negan category, is weird. But I don't mind when they put in characters that embody the actor themselves, if it's like on that specific character. So as I said before, I don't mind Negan being in Tekken, because yes, he is, that's how he looks, unless they're gonna do the comic book rendition or whatever. Or if they put Neo in like some random game, yes, he's done by Keanu Reeves, but it's an actual character to the lore and the story and everything, and they're using the likeness. Mortal Kombat is a better example where they do this with the T-1000. It's actually Robert Patrick, but it's a character in the universe and the lore itself, so he needs to look like that person. That's the exception to the rule, in my personal opinion. But if you just randomly put in like 50 Cent, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this bullshit? This doesn't need to be here.
Marriott.
Yeah, it's
Marriott, what's his name? Put Justin Timberlake in the next King of Fighters.
put him in Mortal Kombat so I can just rip his head off. I think that'd be kind of cathartic for me. But
I Also, my bad, Ryan. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine. I was just finishing my point that the animations look undercooked. The controversy in people saying, oh, they're not gonna buy the game or whatever, and then they end up buying it. Those people I just end up not believing. If they stick true to the boycott, then that's cool. And as for people being in games themselves as celebrities, I would prefer it to be just the character and not the overall person itself, because I think the former makes way better sense. But I don't want to see like it's like I said, I don't want to see Justin Timberlake or 50 Cent or these people running around, and you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense unless it's something like Def Jam, which I think they are never going to bring back. And as for the controversy, you can delete Rolando from the game because of his history. I mean, I don't think that anyone's going to personally disagree with that. As for the DJ, it just seems like, I'm sorry to say this, if people like this guy, no offense, but it's like they got some random bum off the street to do some turnstiles. Like, why is he in this fighting game, and why should people even buy him other than memes? Like, the only thing I saw is that people were using him and using the equalizers, and it was just absolute shenanigans. Like, watching that in a fighting game tournament is dumb for all the wrong reasons. Also, we might have that guest join us after all, so I've sent them the invite, but we're going to move on to the next question, which is Fakaram. It's
Oh boy.
Oh my god. That bum.
the liquid legs.
Not Sagat.
You know what, Kaneki, I want you to go on this. What do you think about Fakaram and Tekken 8?
If they was to, you know, when it comes to guest characters, they put Clive in Tekken. Here's a thought. I would have gladly taken Sagat over Fakaram any of the fucking day. If they're not going to add Bruce back, fine. Just add in Sagat. I would not care. I would have actually, keep the game installed and check out what they're going to do in the future of the season. Nah, I'm done with Tekken for good. It seems like they lost the plot. I'm sorry, Harada, but even if you fired the team behind season 2, y'all not in that mindset anymore. Y'all just don't care about the series anymore.
I have many thoughts on Tekken 8 that I have discussed with Ren and others.
Since I see that you're here, Alia, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm the Gooby Possum that occasionally pops up in the server. Hello.
Since Kaneki took his turn, what do you think about the first question where we talked about sort of the SNK controversy with the 2 additional people they added to the game, and what do you think about Fakaram?
So, as far as the characters added to the game, okay, I feel like they could have chosen better options, honestly. They have so many characters with the licenses they still have, like from working with like Koei Tecmo and other companies, where they have licensing to include them in their games if they want to for crossovers, that I feel like they could have chosen literally anyone. So on the other hand, if they had chosen any of those characters they have DLC licensing for, I'd be kind of scared they chose Rido just because of the direction they took with these characters they chose. I don't know what has crawled up SNK's ass over the last couple years, but it is kind of concerning. The animations wasn't really much of my concern as much as the choices they made.
I can answer that for you. Why not ask the Saudi prince himself?
I was hinting at that without saying that.
Oh man.
Yep, I was gonna say that's probably the reason why. Well, that's the big reason why these 2 misfits are in the game without a background check.
Yep.
But
yeah, because
This is weird.
it's the same reason we got HBK coming out of retirement for a WWE event years ago and literally falling all over the ring and then giving himself a concussion. It's the same reasoning. We got that one random sumo wrestler who's retired sumo wrestler at this point just because he has a physical resemblance in the face to Yokozuna, and they didn't realize Yokozuna has been dead for almost 30 years. Like, it's... I have thoughts, but if we get into those thoughts, we're never going to shut up about philosophy and stuff. And as far as the Tekken thing, I'm concerned for Tekken, honestly, and I say this as someone who's been playing Tekken a very long time because it was the cheaper alternative to Mortal Kombat originally. Like, it was so much cheaper to buy Tekken. And then you kind of got into the characters other than the Mishimas, because yes, I'm one of those people that never really got into the Mishimas. And so it kind of, like was said, it feels like they lost the plot a little bit, especially Harada. Recently, I don't know if anybody has watched the recent podcast thing, but I think we might get into that. I'm still reading the question list. I feel like they lost the plot, and then even with like the season 2 people, from the way it was explained is like season 1 is working on the battle pass now, like the original Tekken developers, and then they hired a bunch of new people for like the other stuff, and it's like, well, we don't really need a battle pass, so like you could put the good writers on the not battle pass stuff. Like,
Nah, everything needs to have it. Even some single player games.
but I even went as far as like, I still don't own Tekken 8 because I was waiting for all the bugs to be fixed, and they're just stacking more reasons for me not to buy it, especially when it's $80.
Here's my advice. Don't even get the game even on sale. Because I
Yeah.
know with the decision they're doing now, I know what they're gonna head towards in the future of this game. Don't get it.
I played Tekken 7 on stream last week. For those who are listening who are not aware, I am a VTuber. I played Tekken 5 a lot recently. I played Tekken Tag 2, which Tekken Tag 2 runs the worst on PS3 I've discovered. I need to get another Xbox 360 copy. Oh my god. But yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna. It's gonna be like one of the like other fighting game spin-off things where I just skip a whole generation, like I did with King of Fighters 13, which in hindsight I've played it since, but like when it first came out, I just skipped the whole generation and all the expansions and stuff because there was so much mess going on.
I guess I will go next on Fakaram. I'm gonna try to keep the rest contained to later because there's a lot to talk about with Tekken Season 2 itself. So what do I think of the character specifically? I do not like this character. I've always hated him since he was in Tekken 7. It is a reason why most people have said when Fakaram was added in Tekken 7 that he broke the game, because he did. And he was overpowered until it took a while and they nerfed him. We're in a game, and this is the one thing that Maniac keeps saying, and he says it over and over and over again, but he's 100% correct. Fakaram with heat. It is going to be a flaming fucking mess. And I believe we're going to enter this era of Tekken 8 just having completely broken characters like this. We already kind of saw it with Clive. Look, at this point, I was excited that Clive was added to the game, but, and I know it's a later question, but I'm just going to allude to this now. Clive is not really fun to fight against, and he has 100 million moves, and if we see the same with Fakaram, I'm just going to go to the game, I'm going to press the uninstall button, and then Tekken 8 is done. And I have a feeling that's exactly what is going to happen. It's just not fun. Like, I can't think of many people who like this guy, and if they are, it's just a small minority of people. If you're a Fakaram fan, that's cool, but most Tekken vets are gonna say, where's Bruce at, though, because he's the original one that was doing the whole kickboxing Muay Thai thing, right? And then why haven't we gotten him in a Tekken game for a long time now? I don't get it. I would rather eat flaming lava than to see Fakaram back in the game, and here he is in full glory. That's why Maximilian was saying, "Oh, it's over. It's 100% over," because I don't know who they're listening to with these decisions. And I guess maybe they'll pick a easy returning character, but this guy is not it. He's not what the kids say. This is not it, fam, as they say. And that's what I think about Fakaram so far. Or fuck your mother, as they like to call him.
The next
I have a joke regarding that. I think they're listening to the Itagaki because remember Harada exposed that he's best friends with Itagaki IRL, so the king of bad decisions.
That might explain why Devil's Third got made. No, I'm just doubling down on that. Don't mind me.
Oh damn, bro! I remember that game. Devil's Turd.
Isn't that shitty Devil Jin beat him up?
It was what
something
Itagaki made after Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, and that was also shit too. Oh my god, dude! I don't want to talk about Devil Within for Tekken 5.
Wish they would have given us the damn salmon they keep teasing. I will play a salmon instead of this dude. Give us the flopping salmon.
Where's Alex? Where's Roger? I'd rather play as a kangaroo or the dinosaur. Come on.
No, animal abuse.
Give us give us the cheating kangaroo back who's getting his ass whipped by a lizard because he cheated on his wife.
They're apparently afraid of PETA, yet they still have bears in their game.
Oh,
that makes no sense.
I remember that.
Let us finally have Kuma and Panda fight to the death, and if Panda, well, not literally to the death, but you remember the subtitle thing was really bad in translation. Have if Panda loses, she has to marry Kuma. Like, I don't care at this point. Something better.
Oh,
no. Domestic Tekken.
Also,
Tekken marriage court.
Also, there's a rumor, since people going by colors, Murray likes Fakaram. Apparently, Harada likes Marduk.
Give us lightning at this point. If you're just pulling random licenses out of everywhere, give us another Final Fantasy character. Give us lightning. All she has is a sword. God. She doesn't have anything but a sword. Like,
I'll keep the game uninstalled.
I'm gonna do the same.
Andre, it is your turn. What do you think of Fakaram?
I'll give my thoughts really brief. So actually, I found this out a while ago. If you look at the credits, I think it was credits for Tekken 8. Elite credits, apparently for the motion capture. People do the motion capture. They showed Muay Thai, like someone doing the, PK Sianshin Muay Thai. So I was like, yeah, I think Fox in the game because of the motion capture actor. That's what I came to. That's the thought I came to. As for the character, this is a really bad move. Like, Fox is one of those characters, like, he's not popular at all. I think he's only popular because he's a cheesy piece of garbage. And you know, the dude broke Tekken 7, so I guess them bringing him back wasn't really, honestly, too surprising to me. In fact, I kind of saw it coming because, considering, you know, his Tekken 8 character model is literally his Tekken 7, just maybe touched up a bit. And, but honestly, dude, it's like, if they're gonna put him back in the game, I think they should have saved him up for season 3 and just put someone better, like Armor King or Kunimitsu too. Because Fog is like the epitome of, like, he's like the epitome of anti-hype. Like, there's really nothing interesting about him. Like, the only interesting thing about Fog is maybe like how cheesy bullshit his fighting style is. But other than that, the dude sucks, bro. Like, Mamgo, what are you doing? Stop that. Get some help.
Also, you said Muay Thai motion caption. I just
Yeah.
noticed why they couldn't add bumpy instead.
Right? Like, it's it's just so weird. It's like they're making so many bonehead decisions with Tekken 8. It's like I'm at this point. It's like I don't even know if the game is even gonna get better. Like, shit, maybe season 3 if it even hits season 3. But yeah, that's all I gotta really say. Aquarum sucks. Harada, if you're listening to this, I don't know, get someone else.
Well, that goes to the next point, which is the next question, and that is talking about season 2 in general. So, considering all the theatrics of Tekken 8 season 2, from the poor balancing to Harada now firing his new balancing team and rehiring the old one, to buffing already strong characters with heat like Devil Jin, because why, God? And then other things like Michael Murray blocking people on Twitter for simply saying, please fix the game. What is your stance on the drama and the balancing of Season 2? If you have played it, is it a complete misfire in your eyes? And I will go with Kaneki first.
Oh, this for question 3.
Oh yeah, question 3. Not too my bad.
Oh boy. Well, my stance on the whole situation is pretty simple. Why they thought it was a good idea to add new people to do the season 2 balancing for Tekken 8 instead of just have the original folks from 7 or the season 1 of Tekken 8 to do the balancing. It's just so odd that all of a sudden they hired people to do it for the next season. And thinking, oh, well, how about instead of giving people actually wanted in the season balance, more defense than offense, we'll just give more characters more offense. We had a patch to a point where Reina was one of the most broken characters for a limited time because she had no weaknesses. Like, how the fuck you managed to make her have no weakness, bro? Oh, and chip damage when when you break throws. I don't understand that.
This
It's so dumb.
this sucks. I'm gonna take the chance to do my turn. This all sucks. I'm gonna try to keep it quick. They already nerfed the fuck out of the character that I love the most, which is Lee Chaolan. So you are completely killing a character that needs to be buffed more than he needs to be nerfed. And I just
Not
don't.
excellent.
Yeah, and I just don't understand the logic of them doing stuff like that. And then there's other stuff I've seen that I'm gonna list from personal experience. One of the things I saw on live stream, and I don't know, please tell me, God, if they fix this, because I do not know, but I have seen people whiff more punches through people with this patch. I have did high kicks, low kicks to people, and they did not connect. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's something I don't remember happening in the first season. Why is it happening now? And then Clive is super stupid strong. I mean, just full screen grabs and 1,000 moves, and it's like I cannot do jack shit about it.
Quick interject. There was a clip where if you do a certain move to Anna, you can basically copy her moveset with any character.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That was the bug.
So you could officially turn into Mokujin in this game. I'm just like, these decisions don't make much sense, and you could tell because not only did they do a couple of steps, they put out an emergency patch which only fixed half of the problems according to what I heard. Then they're doing another one sometime this month, if it's not already out yet. I know it's just coming in May. and then they fire the balancing team that was the new one, and it's like, why didn't you keep the old people? And you have a bunch of other decisions as well that I remember Nee was laughing at the game because he's like, this is hilarious, like everything's all broken, nothing works, you could cheese through everything. I think the most obvious thing was the surge of Lars, because his new moves literally will wall carry to death.
Don't forget, Michael Murray was the king of blocking people.
Yeah, so to illustrate the situation, I believe there was a user called Misplay Stuff, and she simply said, hey, this is what needs to be fixed with the game, X, Y, and Z. She didn't insult the guy, she didn't make fun of him, she wasn't racist or anything crazy like that. She just said, you just need to do this to fix the game, and turns out Michael Murray just blocked her the following day. I heard this guy is really bad for the community. It's something that Drill said about when they decided to mess with the side steps, and I think he said something paraphrased like, why sidestep when you can block in real life or something. It was something really stupid. And I was just like, we're not talking about reality, we're talking about the video game. So if you can refresh that quote, it would be nice. But I just remember he made this really dumb comparison, and I'm like, but why did you nerf it if literally everyone had no problem with it whatsoever? And it's sort of the mentality that he seems to have, where it's like whatever Tekken team says goes, and whatever anyone else says, you get blocked or you get bad comparisons. I just think this guy needs to be like let go, because I don't think he's good for the PR team and Tekken at large. If anything, he just made the whole situation kind of halfway look worse, along with how Harada just, I don't know why they decided to put in like 1,000 moves and not stress test what's going on. I think that's something you should run by the pro Tekken community before you implement it. And it's crazy. I've done things with June I've never done before, where I was just like, wait a minute, why am I just getting so much fucking damage off this guy? This game is, the heat is broken now. But that is my opinion. It's, oof, I feel like it's a disaster. Alia, it is your turn. What do you think of season 2 with the Tekken patches so far?
So I've not had to play it firsthand, but I have watched friends stream it in Discord and scream at the computer. I was sitting there thinking, oh, maybe it can't be that bad. But then they showed their balancing was removing all of the characters' extreme weaknesses, like certain characters have weaknesses to sidestepping and stuff like that. And they completely removed it. I think that is an awful option. Like, of course you don't want characters weak to everything, but every character in Tekken has always traditionally had one standard weakness that if you can aim your kicks right, or your punches, or do your combos with the correct timing, you can take them down and get an upper hand. That is how the game has always been. So taking that away kind of takes away like the fundamentals of the game. And I think that it kind of contributes to the feeling that people are having, especially long-term Tekken players, not people who joined when Tekken 7 came out, but like since Tekken 1, where they feel like the game series is becoming more and more aggressive and more angry and like volatile for those angry, aggressive players who are super toxic, who play online, who love to just spam shit, and they'll use cheat codes, or not cheat codes anymore. God, I'm aging myself. Not cheat codes, but cheat systems that you can install on your computer. Like, there was one that got caught recently by a YouTuber who, I can't remember his name right now. He's one of the professional players. He's from Asia. And so this guy was playing and he mocked him, like went to his Twitch stream after he got caught cheating and then made fun of the Asian pro player for having books in his room, like threw a tantrum and then banned him from seeing his stream so that he couldn't see him talking about him and stuff. And I think Tekken is kind of the way they're balancing, quote unquote, is making it to where these players who are very unhealthy for the entire community as a whole are able to be aggressive more easily because they are the ones who constantly buy the stupid battle passes and spend so much money on every single DLC because it makes them feel superior to everyone else. It feels I could see why everyone else in the community who has played Tekken 8 kind of feels like that's what they're doing. I think that's a bad direction to go in, so I don't really agree with it. I definitely don't agree with hiring a bunch of young people straight out of college to do the balancing while you assign your older devs to other stuff and then firing them mass because they did exactly what you told them to, and then your fans didn't like it when you should have listened to the fans and then like did something that fixed it. That's my opinion. I also come from prior corporate executive offices and stuff, so like
Also, the
I have
team
a different
was in
perspective.
college.
Yes, they're like youngins, brand new.
That would explain everything. Why the balance was
So-
trash.
But that's not really, how do I explain this? That's not really their fault. If they're coming straight and they're supposed to be training under these new devs and then the new devs get moved to other stuff instead. And they're just told, hey, we're doing this thing. We want the players to not have issues and stuff with this. And they're told, hey, we don't want our players to have a whole lot of things to exploit, like weaknesses. I can see where someone new to the video game industry, and I say this because my friend works for Riot, especially too, like especially when you have a toxic fan base who hates having any weaknesses or anything, like League and Valorant and now Tekken in recent years. I could see why when your boss says to make weaknesses less prevalent or something like that, you would take it as, okay, let's completely code out the weaknesses. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Especially if you're like brand new to the business, you have no idea like how reading between the lines and all the politics work in an office. I could see why they interpreted it that way, which is why I don't know that they fired, because he didn't mention how many people he fired. He said he fired some of the team.
Probably the
I-
ones that did the change.
Yeah, I can't imagine that is a good idea to do that right out the gate if you're the one who is responsible for the change. I know it happens a lot in corporations. I've experienced it, but that doesn't mean it's okay.
That just sounds like, due to all the complaints, Harada just picked the nuclear option and thought that was the safest bet to be like, okay,
You're fired.
you're fired, but now we're gonna have to announce that, and hopefully this gets the heat off. It just is a mess all around when you look at the entire situation. Also,
It didn't work, obviously.
it didn't work because there's still people relatively upset about the state of the game, and I found that quote from Michael Murray, so disregard my last one, but he said something like, why sidestep, because I think this is when they nerfed the sidestepping in 7, why sidestep when you can block and punish? And then I'm thinking to myself, it's so stupid because
Blocking doesn't work in Tekken, you fool!
it's another reason. It's another reason too. Like, you're trying to use this other mechanic as a strategy to sidestep moves or get out of the way, and he's literally telling you just use the other one and fuck it. Just say fuck it. Like, that's what you can do to avoid it. And I'm just like, huh? So
I want him to play Tekken 5 and see if he'll say that. And say blocking works.
I would love to see him play Tekken 5 because he came from another company before that. So
Tekken
like,
4.
Oh.
Go back to Tekken 4.
God,
Broken
man.
that is.
Everyone would be like, blocking works, huh? See, you're struggling against Jinpachi.
I was gonna say blocking, especially in Tekken, is like Mortal Kombat in a sense with blocking. Because if you block too much, you get punished, and the system AI will completely just turn off your block, and then you get punched. Like, if you block too much, it punishes you. So, yes, totally. I'm going to block instead of sidestepping and learning how to fight correctly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what I'm doing. Thank you so much for your horrible recommendation.
I was gonna make it worse and say, oh yeah, the solution is to keep blocking, and that's how it's punished. Try doing that to King and see what happens. Just like,
You'll
you'll
just get thrown around.
Just grab.
grabbed to death, and I'm just like, I gotta mash to get out. So blocking is not the only option to defense and Tekken. You figure he would know that, but Michael Murray doesn't seem really that smart.
I would love to see him play online, and I know this is probably going to get me under a little fire from somebody in the comments. Stick him in a match with a Christine or Eddie player that is really good, and see how well that blocking goes with all those kicks.
Yeah, he's gonna get lowered and punished. It's just, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So you can't block everything. You're going to have to sidestep sometimes to get out of the way and see what you can do with it. It's just like, it's so dumb. What he's saying and what he's doing is really dumb behavior, and it just needs to be called into question. And a lot of people are doing that, so I do see it.
I will say this as well. I say this with the Sims 4 mess that's been going over the last couple of years too.
Mhm.
Yes, the devs can have some controversial opinions, like we've just mentioned the stupid sidestep crap. However, at the end of the day, sadly, the decisions are ultimately on the execs. So, like, yeah, we can make fun of him for it and stuff, but also remember at the same time, these things are being hammered into their heads by the people who pay their checks. And at the end of the day, they can't really change much either. So don't send death threats, you idiotos, because I know some idioto will watch this and then be like, ah.
Yeah, I agree, and I also want to add to it that they're going to at least try, because they are not finished with the other side of the emergency patch. I guess people can let us know in the comments how they think that's going to go, or by the time it comes out, if it's a mess, then by the next Buster Wolf we'll talk about it. But Andre, did you go on this question about season
No,
2?
I haven't gotten this question actually.
Go right ahead. What is your thoughts on this season with the balancing?
Okay, so my feelings on the season. Well, I gotta get this one out. Release the block list, Murray. Okay, okay, I'm gonna be talking about.
He's never gonna do that.
The pro players list.
I had to. I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. Thank Frame Whisper for that one. But all seriousness, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I really wanted to get really good at Tekken 8 because I do like the game in small bursts, but the balancing is garbage because it's so weird because they give all these characters like all these like they give them all these new moves. They give them like they sort of like homogenize the game, and they essentially ruined like Steven Horing. They made him like gorilla unga bunga characters when they're a lot more complex than that. Like they were like Steve was more defensive and Horing was more like counter hits. So in a sense, it's like you're basically adding all these moves, making the game more aggressive, but also dumbing down the characters, which really does not work for Tekken. On top of that, really, it's just the game. I think the game's already over aggression. Just it really makes not playing the game fun because little story. I was riding out and trying to hit like the higher ranks, right? And I hit Garou rank with Leo, which is the red rank, and then for Fang, I tried to do the same thing, and bro, I spent days and days still stuck like a rank lower, and I was about to finally rank up. Then I fought a double gen, lost, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck this game," deleted it. And I'm probably not gonna bother going back to Tekken 8 unless they release an entirely new character that would get me interested, which I highly doubt it because the entire game has honestly just been a giant mess with the balance. And I think the game could get better, but it's a huge if. Well, no, it's a huge doubt because considering other fighting games that are coming out in the horizon, like Virtua Fighter 6 and so forth, I don't know. So yeah, the balancing for the games is really shit. The game is fun like a really small burst, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes, and after that, it's like nah, this is not fun. But yeah, that's really my feelings on the balancing. It's pretty garbage, very garbage.
Someone wanted to mention that Tekken supposedly fired some commentators.
Oh yes, yes, they fired
Yes.
an entire world championship
They fired
commentating team.
They fired that Law main, the guy who
Rip.
mains Law. He criticized the patch.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
criticized. That man got
Also,
fired.
I just shared the link to Harada blocking the top grossing player of Tekken.
What?
And I'm blocking him.
Ours,
Yes.
Oh yeah, Arslan Ash.
yeah.
He was like, I didn't mean to. I was just going on a blocking spree.
Does anyone believe that story? Like, because
No.
I was listening to Mike Hollow talk about this, and people are mentioning, oh, you can butt dial the block button like anytime. I'm like, wait, what?
How do you butt dial the block button?
How is that possible?
I don't even know.
know,
People
man.
like you can make that common mistake. I'm just
Also, like, smartphones have fingertip protection or like butt dial protection now. Like any modern
They think-
Android or iPhone, if
Bro,
you
they think
accidentally
it's the
touch it,
same.
it asks you to hold and press your finger on it to make sure you're trying to unlock it. So how does one unlock the thing and then block a person, a very specific person, and then go about their day with
Yeah.
their butt?
Yeah, they have to. Either
Bro, they
he was
think
in a
butt
tag.
dial's the
Oh, go ahead.
same.
Go ahead.
They think butt dial's the same.
I just, and it's specifically him too. So it's like, okay, we entertain the idea. Maybe they were in a conversation and then Harada just sits down.
I think
But
they're
he
finally
still has
crashing
yet
out.
to block low tier god. How?
I don't think
Low tier god is still on Tekken.
I think LTG's blocked everywhere at this point.
No, he's not. This man can make millions of accounts. You'll never block him.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I'm gonna quote what he said in that one stream, which I didn't want to know this, but I found out because a friend sent me a clip where his ex-wife like blocked him. He's like, "I am unblockable. I will make more phone numbers," and I'm like,
Bro,
Okay.
that's so weird. But yeah, Harada's excuse, I'm not buying. Maybe I can slightly entertain. Oh, you got a block bot or something. But then when you think about it, he wasn't blocked before until now, and then you can think about it like, that's suspicious. It's all just a bunch of baloney. I believe Harada knew what he was doing. He saw those complaints and he was like, I will get your ass out of here immediately. That's what he did.
I feel like we're finally crashing out, but they're probably gonna have their big crash out if they reveal another massive disappointing character.
I'm gonna say this, and this is controversial. I'm okay with them crashing out if it means we get a good Tales of game again finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bandai
Let that
Namco.
side of Bandai crash out. Give me a good Tales game, because the fact that they ripped most of Tales of Arise's funding for Tekken 8 now just makes me pull my hair out.
Wait,
Ooh.
what? Really?
Oof.
Really now? That's
Because like they were doing like their quarterly stuff, and like Tales of Arise was being pushed out so they could make more money, and then everybody hated it, and then Tekken 8 they were like, oh yes, we're delaying it. It needs a little more money, and I'm like, that is not a coincidence. Why did you make my good game shite? They're like, it's pretty though. It plays like shite. It doesn't matter if it's pretty if it plays like shite.
That is something I did not know, but I wouldn't be surprised because Bandai Namco.
I wouldn't know either
Yeah.
because Tekken and Dragon Ball is their main priority, and you
They
can tell.
also put out that stupid Bleach game at the end of last year, and the Death Note one.
Yeah, so I have things to say about Rebirth of Souls. I like it, obviously, but it needed more time to cook, and it's very, very obvious. I'll get to that question when we get it, though.
Does it
When you
look
hear
like
more,
a $500 million game? No.
No. But we're gonna do the last portion of our Tekken 8 question, and that is talking about the character pass itself and the stage and everything. What do you guys think about it so far, including everything we got, like Clive and Anna, since they're now in the game? And I will go with Alia first.
It's sad that Anna is now the best balanced character in the entire freaking series now for Tekken 8. Or for Tekken 8 anyways, not the entire series, but like for Tekken 8, she is the best balanced character, and she's a freaking DLC character. That's pretty sad. Clive, I've heard a lot of people are mad that they chose Final Fantasy 16, but again, this goes back to like corporate politics and shit. He's the newest character. Final Fantasy 16 still hasn't sold enough copies to break even. If they can get fighting fans to check out the game, then that's good. So of course they're gonna push that. Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if you guys have looked at the budget for it. The report. It was a lot. And although like some Final Fantasy fans committed to it, as soon as it like came out that it was an action RPG and not an actual RPG, and I say actual RPG because most of us consider turn-based RPGs like the bread and butter of Final Fantasy. Like, of course, you have like some tactics spin-offs and stuff for like the Game Boys and stuff that are not RPGs in the traditional turn-based sense, but traditionally it's turn-based. Even 13 was primarily turn-based, and it was categorized as an action RPG, quote unquote. 14 is very much still turn-based. I think that them adding him was a huge marketing thing because of the issues. I know 16 has kind of been patched to oblivion now, and it's supposedly better now that there's the DLC, but not a lot of people are giving it a chance. So if they can get Tekken fans into it, because oh my god, look at his puppy, which has been the discourse around him so far. I think that makes sense from a business perspective. I know I'm talking in numbers here, but I've been on the business side of stuff before, and I have friends who still like work in corporate offices, specifically video games. So I get it. Even if I'm now just like a fan and stuff, and not working in like corporations where you have to have like those annoying business meetings, I understand. Like, hey, we're not meeting numbers. We really need to try to promote this thing, even if it's not something we truly 100% believe in anymore. If we don't, it's like the Spirits Within. Spirits Within, was that the name of it?
Yes.
The movie that came out. Sony was supposed to pay for most of the production for that, but then they didn't because of corporate politics. Which the movie really wasn't that bad. It just wasn't Final Fantasy. Like it's looking to be one of those type of scenarios because they also canceled after like the whole 16 mess. I don't know if you guys saw the news this morning, but the Kingdom Hearts game that we were supposed to get before 4 got canceled.
All the Marvel games? Yeah, we know.
Yeah. And then 4 is currently in limbo because Haley Joel Osment got arrested for using Jewish slurs against police officers and resisting arrest afterwards, and a whole bunch of mess. So like Square having him put in the game makes sense because they're trying to find a life preserver right now.
That would be funny to hear Sora to him say that in Sora's voice.
Oh
for
god.
for dark meme's sakes.
I watched the video out of morbid curiosity because
There was a video? Oh boy.
Yes, there's a video. It's on social media. He was live streaming when he did it.
Damn.
It's
hope he likes
forever
his last name
immortalized on like Twitch and Kick and shit. And it's bad when I say shit instead of shite. But I feel like they're holding on for a life preserver, and the fact that Harada's friends with a lot of those guys in real life, I think him choosing that character instead of like Noctis. As much as people hate him, he was a very beloved character by Final Fantasy fans, so him being added made sense. and it was a couple years after 15 came out too. That made sense. Like the trailers and stuff for 15 had been released years prior to him being added to Tekken. But Clive, you know, like I feel like that one's more of a life preserver. Like they did the, what was it, 6-hour press conference thing, interview thing when he was announced. Like they pulled out the red carpet and everything. So I feel like that one, as much as people hate him being in the game, he is a good looking character. His character design is very good. I mean, what do you expect when they get the original Final Fantasy character designer from like the first few games to come in and design him? And like they're needing a little oof at this point. So I don't really hate on it that much. Anna being brought back, I don't hate. Like I said, her balancing looks amazing just from like watching the frame data from games and watching other people play her. I do think her story being reopened after it was finished is a little weird, but there are worse stories that got restarted that should have been finished, like cough cough Heihachi. So I'm not too mad.
Well, in fighting game lore, you can't kill off boss characters. I'm sorry, evil boss characters like Heihachi.
I was gonna say, oh, fuck right off with that. We have not seen Jinpachi in over 15 years.
Well, I guess it is my turn. Clive, okay, so I don't want Clive fans to get on me. I'm gonna be fair about this one. I get it, because it's not the first time there's been a Final Fantasy rep in Tekken. Obviously, Noctis was cool. I used to use him a lot in Tekken 7. Him being in the game would make sense because of that alone, and not only because of that, them going out of their way to say, hey, we have a cool character we can present with a lot of moves and a lot of like just grabbing people, doing econ moves. All that stuff is what you would expect for a collab crossover, as well as the fact that I think that the last season pass needed some oof, because in my personal opinion, Eddie and Lydia was not doing it for me whatsoever. Heihachi's weird because you're bringing back a character from the dead that got thrown into a volcano in the last game. Oh, he got saved by monks, but I can see the excitement for seeing Heihachi come back, even if it doesn't make sense. And they needed one extra character to be like, okay, now this pass is kind of, it's just 50-50. It's half whatever, and then the other half is like, okay, now we have some excitement. For Clive, I don't like fighting. I'm just gonna be upfront. I've told people this before. I think he does way too much bullshit. I think he does 150,000 moves, and fighting him on ranked is ass. But I've beaten a few Clives, and then I got outplayed by having a crippled Lee on the sidelines because he has way more moves than I do. That being said, I don't mind him being in the game, but I don't like fighting him. Anna makes sense. She's the most balanced one so far out of all these new additions. I do like her look, her updated look and everything. Her having the red and black hair, it looks pretty cool. Her moves are pretty cool, the missile and everything. At first I thought they were going to add some Ada Wong sort of character. I thought they were going to add her into the game with the missile teaser, but it turns out it was her. Which I'm not mad by, because it's a returning character I was looking forward to seeing. The stage is Pac Pixels, Pac-Man. The stage looks terrible, because it reminds me of those stages in DOA 5 that has the exploding barriers at the bottom, and each time you fall into it, it explodes. That is the Pac Pixel stage, but with the Pac-Man motif, and every time you get slammed into the floor, which was very much often in the gameplay demonstration, you go right through it and you blow up. And it keeps happening again and again and again. It reminds me of that stage where it's sort of the purple glass floor and you break it and you fall all the way to the bottom, except you're taking damage the whole time while that's going on. It's fucking terrible. Fakaram is ass. So I'm like, I would have
They
been
should they should have put Akira in the game instead of him.
just
Virtua Fighter represent.
like all seriousness. He broke the last game. He's definitely gonna break this one with Heat. It's a no contest. Returning character, I'm sure is gonna be Marduk, and I'll be honest.
Sleep.
Outside of his story in Tekken 4, which is kind of cool that he supposedly killed King's mentor
He
or
almost
whatever.
got killed.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
almost
and then he
got
almost
killed. Yeah, that making King go for revenge, that was cool. That was really cool in Tekken 4.
I miss those type of stories. They take risks with those stories. I don't know why we don't go back to those.
But
Yeah.
as a fighter himself, I'm not really big on Marduk whatsoever. So that's good for Marduk fans. And the new character, it depends on what they do with him or her. But I don't know. Could it be another Leroy situation where they're absolutely astounding? Maybe, but it remains to be seen. So my personal opinion on, and now they don't show the winter stage, so I can't really get excited for it. But so far, this has been kind of a miss, in my personal opinion. It doesn't compare to anything that Street Fighter is doing right now, where their seasons are really, really good on characters, and you have some that stand out, and I'm just not seeing it for this one. It's not consistent, is what I'm saying. But Kaneki, what about you? How do you feel about the season 2 character pass and Clive and everything else?
Well, with Clive, I even had that reaction when we was at the when we was reacting to no, I was in another call when they revealed Clive to be in Tekken 8. I didn't have a problem with it, but I understand not many people was happy because people wanted Tifa out of Clive for the Final Fantasy rep because she does make the most sense to be in a game where the majority of the roster, besides Yoshimitsu, where they use fists to fight. And he's basically Noctis 2.0. He's broken. Especially, all you do is just press one button with him and you get your combo. His stage is cool though. That's all I say about Clive is I love his stage. Like especially if you play the Final Fantasy 16 game, that stage is beautiful. A lot of destruction for sure. As for Anna, before they balanced the fuck out of her, I hated fighting her in the beginning because that's where the broken bullshit started with the balancing nonsense. And she was a menace. Like I didn't want to play the game anymore if all I'm gonna fight is broken ass Anna. I just don't want to talk about this game anymore until they get their shit right.
We already know how he feels about liquid legs. Oh man, dude.
No legs, no legs. This man in Tekken 7 had no legs. I don't want to experience that again.
Andre, do you have any opinions on Anna? Any final thoughts on Fakaram and any thoughts on Clive?
Okay, I'll go. Clive. Okay, so I really do like playing Clive. He's actually a really fun character to use. I'm not gonna lie. Like they did a really good job with his animations and his general moveset. I also really do like the fact that they included, like I said, like Kaneki said, they included Rosalind Castle from Final Fantasy 16 as a stage, which I'd say it's probably the best looking stage of the game easily so far. Don't like fighting Clive. I think he's complete garbage. Like fighting him is just a pain in the ass. As for the season pass, it's a resounding F because man, like it's like I said before with Fakaman, it's like the most anti-hype thing I've seen. Like Tekken 8 to me is like the epitome of just there is no excitement at all going for it. Like didn't really care that much for the first season pass. Second season pass, I do really like Anna's new redesign. It looks really damn cool. And what you guys say. She's, and at least from what I thought, Vanna, she's pretty balanced. I don't think she was too bad. I don't really like how her story is still her fighting you, which I think that shit should have ended like a long ass time ago, like 10 years ago. Even further than back than that, because that whole rivalry is just, come on, man. Think of something new, Tekken team. But yeah, overall, it's like, other than that, I'm just not really looking forward to the future of Tekken 8. I'm just done with the game completely. Like, done. Nothing's really gonna make me go back to it. I mean, maybe if they do something really crazy, like add LeBron James, maybe I'll look at it, take a peek. But other than that, man,
Bro, you
no bueno.
Bro, you want me to hate the game even more if they add that motherfucker in Tekken?
Bro, at this point, just had some.
Especially now, that motherfucker lost. That motherfucker is not in the zone right now. If you watch NBA, that motherfucker's not having a good time.
Oh no,
He's on that losing streak, bro.
Yeah.
Adding him to Tekken would be baffled.
King James with the dunce cap for season 3.
That man's no longer king. What the else he's been taking?
L James, God.
I saw his first game. His team got eliminated first game. I'm like, bro.
Well, speaking of the game that LeBron is actually in, well, as a passing reference, we're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat and NRS, and WB as well. So, Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition was shown, and a lot of people are saying that is the end of Combat Pack 3. That's the kibosh. That's the confirmation. With this new bundle being mashed together, people are saying it's done. Considering how WB shut down stuff like MK1, supposedly, Multiversus, and other projects, what do you think is going on and who is to blame? Like, Twitter is blaming Ed Boon for the matter. Do you think it's his fault, or what do you think of them moving on to like other projects in a short amount of time, like Injustice 3 is a rumor? I'm going to go first on this one. Now, it's a lot to take in personally. When you say definitive though, that does mean that like you're just packing everything in. I do want them to still make an official statement, but personally at this point, I think my hopes for the game getting Combat Pack 3 is like ending really. The rumors about Injustice 3, it's just a thing of, I don't really trust WB with support on things anymore, because they can barely go like a year of support when the game is in fundamental need of fixes and checks and getting all these problems done. And it just leads me to think a lot of their games that are going to come out that are fighting games, especially if they are not doing well in numbers, they're just gonna pull the plug immediately, and then that's like money gone. What they did to Multiversus was like the same crime, and we saw the leaks, we saw the characters, the skins, the stages, all of that stuff is dead, along with the servers this month. So I'm very skeptical of WB stuff looking to the future, like obviously, but I will also say this, do expect them to hinge on nostalgia, and do expect some of that nostalgia to win, because people just eat that shit up like white on rice. And I personally believe they're gonna go back, return to form, Mortal Kombat, and there's gonna be people that buy the game. Like I've seen people rage, say, oh well, I'm not buying it or whatever, and I've seen people flip on a dime. So I think with Batman and what they're gonna do with trying to go back and get the Arkham fans, because after Suicide Squad flopped, they're like, oh well, let's just turn back and get the Arkham fans. I think that plan is gonna work, and I'm not even necessarily excited for the next Arkham game if it's like not Arkham Beyond. That being said, Injustice 3.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah, Batman Beyond, or whatever they would call it. They probably would call it something like that. But I'm not excited for Injustice 3 unless they add in Marvel people, Marvel versus DC, which I think that's what they're gonna do. So people shouldn't say, oh, the series does not sell, because I've seen that on Reddit. It does not sell. But if they add in Marvel versus DC, that shit's gonna be like millions of dollars sold at that rate. So don't underestimate tactics, because it's definitely going to happen. As for blaming Ed Boon, I think people are pointing the gun at his head and trying to find some sort of scapegoat, when Boone is more or less a puppet to WB. You know, he can make all these promises, but if they say jump, he has to say how high. I don't believe that he said all these tweets about promising things and saying that, oh, I'm gonna support the game for a long amount of time. I don't think those tweets are in bad faith, and the only reason I say that is because he wants to do this stuff and he wants to see it do well and succeed, but the publishers outrule him. So I don't think that he is 100% like trying to pull people astray and lie to them. It's just, here's my tweet, here's the support that I want, and it's a plan gone fucking awry, and I can't really talk about it, so he can't be transparent because WB. That being said, I want to see better for MK and Injustice moving forward, but I just don't know. I'm in this weird state of like thinking, and it's almost like panic in a sense, where I don't know what they're gonna do next after this, but I know cutting the game off after a year is fucking crazy. Even the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, that outlasted MK1 at this rate, and people were summarizing the numbers, so that's ridiculous to me. But Alia, it is your turn. What do you think of this turn of events for Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition? Alia? Knock knock?
Is her mic working?
I do not hear her, so I'll let you take her turn before she gets back then. So Kaneki, what do you think about the MK1 situation Definitive Edition?
Oh boy, well, I'm gonna be that guy, and I kind of knew this was coming, because if they would have said, listen, I mean, even Boone before the Definitive Edition was even announced, right? And you saw this tweet, man. He said he got more plans for MK1, and this is after the fact that Invasions was out. He said there was going to be more plans for this game, but I have a feeling that for this situation, I don't think it was his fault, because he probably did have more plans for MK1, but Warner Brother was probably like, no, you can't do it. That was it. That's GG's.
I also think they need to stop rushing the team as well, because then you end up with situations like this where they want to promise more content and make it, but you're rushing the team, so they have to make compromises.
That I will also fault Warner Brothers on, but I'm gonna be honest. There are some things I'll criticize NRS about when it came to MK1. Mostly how they balanced the game. You realize how a certain pro player, Sonic Fox, they rolled back a patch for a certain cameo, Cyrax, just for him to win in the offline tournament for one day.
That was bullshit.
I think they should be called out for that.
I remember we were talking about that with the whole Sikander calling that out and saying they have never done anything like that, where they have reverse engineered a bug fix and put it back in the game with Cyrax, which is weird. And I also do agree with the criticisms where people said, I enjoy first to 3 during ranked. It was perfect. And then for some reason they decided to basically say, well, we ain't gonna give you like no option due to a player that is having something with epilepsy. I believe he complained, and we ain't gonna have no options to it or whatever. We're just gonna completely take it away and make it first to 2. I was like, why can't people choose where they want to go with rank, whether it's first to 2 or first to 3? I would just imagine more options would be good, and NRS do love taking them away or making weird adjustments for certain players to win.
That was also lacking for this game, the lack of options. Hell, even we don't even have, oh, what is it? You know how they do King in the Hills for the other MK games back then, like 11 and X.
Mhm.
The way they did King of the Hill for this one is only only invites with friends. That's it. No public King of the Hill. Hell, they don't even have a public lobby where you could set up an actual local tournament just for people to jump in, like the other games did, or like clans. They don't even have clans. So like, what are we doing with having less options for offline and online? Um,
I think MK1 is just that game where I do like playing it. I do think that it's fun, but you can literally tell
it
that
was really
this game
rushed.
was rushed. It definitely was rushed.
Like when like it came out, like what is it, like the autumn or the fall after Street Fighter 6, like 3 to 6 months prior or after Street Fighter 6 launch, they decided, oh, let's release the game instead of taking a delay. I would have personally loved if MK1 would have took like a year or two delay. If they would have released it, um, like when did Street Fighter 6 come out? 2023? If they would have come out in 2024, I bet you they would have a better reception than what we got now.
Yeah.
Um, as for Multiversus, oh, I don't want to go into this whole how they fuck up that game, but I'm gonna basically tell you the basics of how they fuck it up. Relaunching the game, we're having more predatory microtransactions, and what they took out from the initial beta from Multiversus was, instead of earning characters just by playing the game, grinding it out, you either have to pay for the character via a battle pass, or just be lucky to be for them to be in the store early on time, or you just gotta pay like what? Fuck, I forgot what those purple credits for. Just to
Premium?
get the, yeah, those premium things, just to get one character. And even if you was to get the one character, if they weren't in the battle pass, it's more expensive than getting the battle pass itself with the character. So, so I'm like, what the fuck is we doing?
Yes, spending all that gleamium to get a character and then they shut the
Premium, that's
game
what it's
down.
called.
Yeah, then they shut the game down. I'm just like, what are you guys doing
Not
over
to
there?
mention, not to mention from the beta, they also nerfed the game speed, because when we all play that relaunch of the game, it felt much slower compared to what it was. Well, since we was locked up in COVID when that game was out, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, why did you nerf the game speed? It was fine the way it was before you relaunched it.
I just chalk it up to fucking shenanigans, and I don't think that it was made better by seeing the leaks and seeing the characters that was
No,
gonna make it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? We actually were gonna get MK characters and we were gonna get other characters from DC, but no.
also
So
the only game Jason returns in after he was free from the lawsuit. Ironic, isn't it?
that's true as well. Now he's gone because we will not be able to play as him online anymore. Jesus, dude.
I mean, the worst part is if you haven't picked up the game um since the relaunch, you can't play it anymore, even in offline. So you're basically locked out of the game.
So it's turned into lost media for like certain people.
Yep.
Damn, I didn't even think it was that bad. I thought at least they would allow people to be like, oh, you can just download it and play it all offline, but you can't even do that if you didn't
Um,
get it. No.
there's a modded community that's trying to do that, but I think it's called Multiversus Infinite or some shit. But I'm waiting more development time on that to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some progress made where they're gonna try to preserve media of the game and try to make it their own, so that it wouldn't be lost media.
That's
It's just
that's good.
it's just Warner Brothers, man. What the fuck are they doing? I don't understand that company. This is the same company that just said, "Fuck Looney Tunes, fam. They don't want that shit no more." They took it out of their Max service, and there was the Catch Up Entertainment should be the new Warner Brothers because they saved Looney Tunes.
And they also canceled the Wonder Woman game that a lot of people were looking forward to and shelved the whole studio, Monolith, that made some banger ass games. I said it in my video and I'll say it here. I believe that Warner Brothers is one of the worst studios on the market right now. They don't give a fuck. They will cancel anything, get rid of it, throw it in the trash if it conveniences them, and is really stupid, dude.
They have the balls to even cancel Batgirl and the Coyote fucking movie that was gonna come out, but Ketchup had to save Coyote.
Yo,
I don't know when that's gonna come out, but Jesus Christ.
this makes me feel bad for James Gunn because he has to work under that management.
Peacemaker is the only thing I'm excited for Warner Brothers, because otherwise I'm just done with them.
Alia, are you back yet? No. If not, then we don't hear you. But I'm gonna move to Andre. So Andre, what do you think about the whole WB situation? Them canceling games and them shelving MK1?
Not a fan. I feel like them showing MK1 doesn't really surprise me because remember years ago they promised they're going to support MKX for a while. Like they were going to do a Combat Pack 3, which was a rumor, but that ended up not happening at all. So as a result, they pretty much were done with support of MK11 completely. But I do agree with Kaneki that MK01 should have been pushed back. I think they should have delayed to like fall 2024 so they can like iron out all the problems, like iron everything out and have the game be fully complete. Because it's a damn shame the game didn't really, last as long. But it is what it is. And as for WB, well, yeah, I think them as them as a company, I think they've been fucking up for a while. Like, I really liked Shadow of Mordor, but after that, I think they're just making a lot of dumb decisions, canceling games like the Wonder Woman game. The fact that the Suicide Squad game was a giant failure, it was just really bad, it was laying off a lot of people from Rocksteady, stuff like that. It's like, they're just complete garbage. It's just I'm not really looking forward to what they got coming out in the future. So yeah, that's my takeaway on. But yeah, I think MK1 deserved a lot better than what it got.
I think they are going to continue to make bad decisions, and they're going to hold on to that nostalgia bait like their fucking life depended on them, like as a pair of like midget titties. Because I swear, I don't know why they're like, well, guess what happens? Don't mind what I said, but I was like, I don't know why all of a sudden now they're like, let's go back to Batman Arkham. Well, after Arkham Knight was supposed to be the last game, that's all they're gonna do at this point is nostalgia. And I just think some people are gonna fall for it, other people are gonna be like, nah, I'm good, I'll wait for definitive edition at about $30 and that's it. Because if you're not gonna support stuff outside of those realms like a fighting game for like at least years to come, and people are using, hey, at least well, Tekken 8 is in a bad state right now, but they are trying to still support the game years after. It's like, what are you guys doing at this rate? So that's why I'm like, WB is just the worst publisher, because they will throw something in the trash whenever it stops conveniencing them, they'll throw it away. But midget titties, that's a new one that's gonna be clipped. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question, which is question number 6, and this is the last. Well, there's 2 more MK questions actually. But what do you guys think of like these anime fighters fans coming out and saying that MK was never or isn't part of the big 3 because of this whole reception of definitive edition? We had a couple of people try to come out and say, well, Guilty Gear has now taken that place and is part of the big 3, and
No.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm very curious to see opinions on this so far. And Kaneki, I want to start with you first.
You already know what I'm about to say. That is complete bullshit. Guilty Gear will never replace Mortal Kombat, even if Mortal Kombat is in its worst state right now. It will never happen. Why? Because casuals and normal players, normal fighting game players, will recognize Mortal Kombat the brand more than Guilty Gear. There's people to this day that don't even know what the fuck Guilty Gear is.
That's
So that's complete horseshit to whoever said that from the anime fighting community.
So I'm gonna give some context. I saw Four Snake call this out. I'm not the biggest Four Snake fan at all, but
He was right.
but he's right. Broken clock is right like twice a day. And the thing about that is he said Mortal Kombat on cultural relevance, on media, on spin-offs, on everything that it's gotten so far in terms of mainstream reputation cannot be ignored. So I don't see why you are trying to brute force in Guilty Gear when people don't even know what that is. And look, I love Guilty Gear. The last one I played was Strive, and I was kind of enjoying it for what it was so far. But I'm not delusional to say that it has taken Mortal Kombat's place, because that is absolutely asinine. Mortal Kombat's like this whole thing with NRS and whatever, you could say it started with MK11, where people were like combating the quality of that game versus everything else. But even then, Mortal Kombat was still super popular, and I think it's going to continue to be. It is the most popular American fighting game, whether people like that or not. I seen takes that are absolutely insane. I seen people say they should just be like Killer Instinct is gonna take its place, and I'm like, bro, what are you? I've seen this occur, and I'm just like, look, I don't get where people are coming from sometimes. I think it's just doom scrolling when something is not doing that well, and people want to take their game and replace it, but you can't do it because Mortal Kombat's already ingrained in history, so you just gotta sort of take it and run with it. You can't make up this revisionist history at all.
Hold on. They said Killer Instinct should take its place.
Yes,
It is a free to play now, so
but here's the thing. They said that
they need more than fucking. They need more than 3 games to take over MK.
yeah.
Just saying.
I don't think that's necessarily true. And so I actually have
I
like
don't agree.
controversial take on that as an MK super fan too.
I think they need what they need is a cultural phenomenon or a big hit sequel, something equivalent to Tekken 3. I think that's fair to say. Like Tekken 3 was the game that revolutionized Tekken. If they get something like that, of course they can get up there, no problem. I don't think that it's impossible, but when someone says that it should overtake it, and then in the same sentence they say that it has overtaken it, I'm just like, no, that hasn't happened yet. So what is the person even talking about? Because that doesn't apply right now for Killer Instinct, and it doesn't apply right now to Guilty Gear overtaking MK spot as the big 3.
So I will wait. Actually, never mind.
Oh, you want to go now?
I can. Okay.
Good.
So I have a little bit of a controversial take on that. And the reason for this is because I've done Evo tournaments in Electronic Sports League. So if you don't remember, during Mortal Kombat X, MKX only actually appeared at Evo 1 year during its lifespan. And then it was replaced with BlazBlue Cross Tag, if you guys remember right, for a few years. So I say this as someone who looks at my massive collection of Mortal Kombat games. I don't think it's impossible. Let me say that. Do I think it's gonna be Killer Instinct? No. Sadly, no. It's a very niche game. That'd be like saying Bloody Roar was gonna come out of retirement and take over MK's spot. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think though that MK, how do I say this? MK is becoming more of a casuals only space. even more than Tekken is these days, because they're bringing in all these really old ass characters, and I say this as someone who likes Conan the Barbarian and his comics and stuff, bringing in these no longer pop cultural relevant really characters. Like T-1000 is the least like known Terminator to young kids these days, so choosing him was kind of random. I understand why they did it. I personally loved it as, you know, a nostalgia bait thing. But I also have to accept that Mortal Kombat 1 didn't sell multiple millions of copies because of me and elder Mortal Kombat fans. You know, it was mostly a casual fan base who bought the game, put it down after a couple months, and never touched it again. We got to look at it realistically. I think especially changing to, again, and I'm going to shit on battle passes again, because battle passes only work for certain games. And so, like, the fact that, how do I say this? So I'm going to compare it to FPSs real quick. I'm sorry. So, like, the battle pass system for fighting games compared to, like, other genres doesn't really work because, and it didn't work for the Suicide Squad game either, which wasn't even an FPS, it was an RPG thingy. I think it doesn't really work because the way they handle it is different. So a lot of these companies like Tekken and, well, not Tekken, but Bandai and WB, they want you to just shell out money and shell out money and shell out money, right? But a lot of these other games that do have battle passes and have had them, and I'm going to use Multiversus in there too with the WB thing, they give away, not like for the free tiers, yeah, all those three of those battle passes, Tekken, all the Mortal Kombat stuff, everything, you can earn and unlock stuff in game per season. But the thing is, it's never anything people actually want that you can unlock without spending money. Whereas, say for Fortnite, or my friend plays Apex a lot, they make it to where you can unlock a lot of stuff. Not all of it, but a lot of the stuff that's on those passes without spending a dime. And so I think like, especially for Mortal Kombat 1, the mass amount of, and I know they lowered the prices of the DLC skins to $5 now. It took them over a year to do it. I think that they underestimated that would kill the game, because I know they had the Injustice 2, and then Mortal Kombat mobile games, which sold a lot of DLC. But you also have to keep in mind who's playing those on mobile. It's mostly very casual players and a bunch of little kids with their mom's credit card.
I think charging us for fatalities is more disgusting than skins.
That's been going on for ever now. Sadly, it's been 15 plus years of that now. I didn't even think about that part. But even then, that's 99 cents for like 10 of them. Versus they were charging $10, $15 for a single skin. And I had this hot take for a while, and I will continue to. A singular skin, especially if it's only a color shade variant, nothing changed really, should never cost more than $2. Ever. Unless you made a whole new skin, not just color variant or a texture swap, but a whole new design, like for example the Shang Tsung bringing back his Armageddon skin, that I can understand being like $5 or something. But anything other than that should not be more than $2. And I think they underestimated how much, WB underestimated how much they were killing their own games this last 2 years.
Yep,
and that's why we ended up with the definitive edition and combat pack being canceled, and Definitive Edition being announced
Also-
right after Ed Boon asked people what they wanted to see for Combat 3.
Also, ironic you brought up them charging for color shades and shit. Marvel Rivals is doing that exact same thing.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Even if you have
However,
this, yes.
the way they're handling it is a little different. It's not something I necessarily like, but it's a little better than how Mortal Kombat's been handling it. Just a little. Not a lot.
What do you think of them overall? Just like no Combat Pack 3 and that they want to do Injustice 3 now?
I'm scared for Injustice 3. Because
Don't do it. Don't do it, WB.
I hated the ending to Injustice 2. A lot of people really liked it. They're like, woohoo, bad Batman. I'm like, we've gotten evil Batman so many times.
Hold on. Depending on the ending, because you could choose either or.
Yes, but they confirmed that the one with Batman and Superman at the end, with Batman in the suit, the Brainiac suit, was the canon one. That's the problem.
No. So,
I don't know why they chose one of those endings to be canon. None of them should be canon, but oh well.
But I feel like they handled Kara Zor-El very horribly for Injustice 2. It was good at first, and then they kind of just flushed it down the toilet. The Power Girl variant that they put in there, they literally just shoved it in as a DLC, but they gave her a whole new voice actress and everything. I feel like they could have done more with that.
Didn't they do that with other ones too?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the premium skins.
Yeah.
Where I believe Raiden, Black Lightning. Yeah, the premium skins.
You want Black Lightning? Get that skin.
Yeah.
They had Mr. Freeze premium skim too for Captain Cold.
That one was dumb.
Yeah. That
he
one
should
was
have been a character.
No, and the way that it was handled gives me not a lot of hope for Injustice 3. I own all the Injustice games and the premium editions of them, and I'm sitting here going, yeah, I would love more DC stuff, but I'm also scared because not only Supergirl and Power Girl, I said Kara Zor-El because it applies to both of them at first, but the way they handled Cyborg and that stupid premium skin thing.
Great.
Yeah, that's someone who's read the entire comic series. I don't necessarily like that. Because they literally just threw him in there and went, bleh, here you go, you want grid? Here's a grid. And I'm like, no build up, no nothing? Nothing?
That is so stupid.
No internal battle in his head? Nothing? Really?
No, just a cool skin, that's it. Nothing else.
But he was in the story mode too. That's what pissed me off. It's like they just made him pop up, go boop, hi, and then boop, bye. And I'm like, okay. And like when you see like the things that like DC and Warner Bros. Want in these games, I'm questioning the people in charge at DC as well. Like my DC comic subscription's been canceled for almost 2 years now because I'm looking at some of it just going, and believe it or not, people, it's not Nightwing wearing stripper shorts that made me cancel my membership. I was fine with that. You know what? He wants to wear stripper shorts, wear stripper shorts. They're literally the go-go dancer shorts that he's wearing now as part of his suit. I didn't care. I don't care. You can wear whatever you want. I don't care. But it's becoming more and more prevalent that like these writers are just throwing shit at the wall. They're not even trying to write a good story anymore. They're just trying to create shock value and controversy. And Injustice 2 was like right before the comics started doing that really badly again after the New 52. So I don't really have a lot of hope. Combine that with the fact that the comics don't really have a lot of source material to pull from recently. It scares me.
I don't even want to look at the recent DC comics they're doing. I mean,
some of them are okay. Like the Raven series is okay. Some of them though.
The last time I looked, Harley can fart people now. as a power, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm not missing anything.
Yeah,
That still stands as well. That is her superpower.
I for every fucking doomsday clock, they will do this weird storyline elsewhere, and I'm just like, what is this? I I want to have faith that Superman will do well enough that they will take their DC property seriously, because that is one of the properties they said. They said MK, Game of Thrones, the Wizarding World, and they said that DC is the franchises moving forward. But I think that it means DC for video games that are only Batman related, and
Yes.
everything else is just going to be thrown down the pipe. So I
I
don't.
was gonna say.
The variety
Also-
of DC games is going to go down in the toilet.
Also, we haven't had a single DC game since DC Online, which is shut down at the beginning of this year, which makes me sad because I actually, as dumb as it sounds, a Final Fantasy 14 style MMO with superheroes from DC actually kind of worked. The Marvel one worked too, but the Marvel one got shut down long time ago.
I didn't like the Marvel one. That one looked weird.
It was a little weird, art style was, but the mechanics were good. But we haven't had a DC game, not even like a Superman game. We haven't had a Batman game. Well, no, we had that really bad VR game this year.
Are you talking about
The Arkham,
the Arkham
Yes.
game? Yeah.
the meta game that's exclusive to Facebook. Yes,
I heard people like the story, but I haven't really looked at it, so I can't say
like-
it's VR.
the story, but a lot of people got vertigo because they didn't actually like program it correctly for VR. They programmed it as if it was just a normal video game and threw it in VR with a VR controller. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try to play that. I'll just read the cliff notes. Thanks. But we haven't had an actual like official game of any sort. Like the last Teen Titans video game we got was in 2004, guys.
Jesus,
Mhm.
2004.
2004. And then it got ported to Japan and like a couple other countries in 2006 suddenly. Like I am scared. Like not horrified like oh my god I'm going to die scared, but you know like just nervous about how these properties are being handled. Yeah, the Superman movie has potential, but we also thought things were going to get better in all the multimedia when we had like the really good Flash universe for a while before they also put that down the toilet. Not the movie. We don't talk about the movie.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
We say this as someone who owns so many Flashpoint comics and Flash comics. We don't talk about the movie.
What's the fucker's name? Ursa?
That's
Fuck
fan
that,
fiction.
fuck that guy.
Yes, the registered pedo. Yes. We don't talk about that movie. Which apparently he leads a cult now, and he's still supposed to come back for like a cameo thing, and I'm like, can you just fire him, please? Just fire him.
I hope James
Just
Gunn was
fire him.
fully correct. I hope he was fully correct when he said I'm rebooting nearly everything and I'm not bringing the original Justice League back. But hey, Leo, I have a question. Did you answer the question where someone was saying, oh, for the big three, an anime fighter is going to take over eventually? Do you agree with that or no?
I said it was possible.
Okay.
I didn't say it's guaranteed. It is possible, but I do not think it's going to be Killer Instinct. And I honestly, as much as I love Guilty Gear, I shoved Guilty Gear on you and other people for years. I don't think it's going to be Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is not as niche as Killer Instinct, but I think, how do I explain this? It has a very structured thing with Arc System Works for the last 30 years where they do not bend at all to casual fans. At all.
Not even Strive?
Strive still wasn't really bending that much. Like, yeah, there were mechanics that bent, but as far as like story and character aspects.
Okay.
But yes, Strive was the most popular out of the series.
Yeah.
But as far as like the actual like stuff, no, I don't see them changing at all. I mean, we could go back to the original of like Guilty Gear. Like we had Testament, which was literally pissed off the Catholic Church so much they protested them, and they were a small company. So like,
Oh,
I literally forgot about that.
let them be mad about Guilty Gear.
and still they kept teasing in the 20 years since she supposedly like disappeared in the timeline to bring her back, and they do it pretty much every time there's a new game, even though they're not actually bringing her back yet so far, just to taunt them. So like, I don't see it being Guilty Gear because of like the current political landscape of the world and everything.
At
Because
least I
Because-
really like Strive enough to say that it boomed in popularity versus the previous Guilty Gears, but I would never say that it's enough to make it super, super popular. I think they need something else to ascend to that level, so to speak.
right now, as much as I hate it because of the funding they're currently getting, I honestly think it's going to be Fatal Fury coming back. Fatal Fury was among the big three before Mortal Kombat existed. If any of them have the ability to come back and take the spot back, it's going to be Fatal Fury over King of Fighters even. Like King of Fighters, I love King of Fighters, but you got to remember King of Fighters is a crossover game. It got a little bit more popular than Fatal Fury did because they stopped making Fatal Fury games forever. But if you remember when Garou came out for the Dreamcast in like 2002, 2001, 2002 at the very end of Dreamcast support, how quickly that sold out everywhere, and it wasn't even officially a Fatal Fury game. If any of them are going to do it, it's going to be Fatal Fury. It's not even going to be the crossover thing. KOF, as fun as it is, it's still an Art of Fighting, Metal Slug, Athena, and Fatal Fury crossover. It's still not the main series as much as I love it.
Make a new K-Off game, damn it.
They did. It's got NFTs in it, and it's called KOF Arena, and they canceled King of Fighters All Stars for it. I'm not totally still salty.
Oh, KOF All Stars, the game where you could play as The Rock facing off against Rock Howard.
That was so fun.
The crossovers, yeah.
The fact
That's
that they gave Netmarble, which is owned by like a music company, you know, like a big music corporation, so like they're in streaming platforms in Korea and stuff. Like the fact that they gave them like full reign to do whatever crossovers they want really helped the popularity of King of Fighters for a while. Like I remember people who have never touched a fighting game joining as soon as they found out that it was on PC, because it wasn't just mobile, for those of you who don't know. It was also on PC. It had full PC support. I think they could have done so much more with that, but they chose to abandon it and then eventually shut it down last year at the end of the year. Which they told people, oh, we'll figure out a way for you to keep your offline data and stuff. They never did. SNK canceled it. Netmarble can't answer for it because they can't do anything until SNK gives the okay. But like, yeah, like we got KOF and Arena instead, which has Bitcoin type stuff and NFTs.
Well, we can throw that in the dumpster along with no, I'm not even gonna say it. That's gonna make a joke.
It's got nice art, and that's what makes me so angry about it too. Is like, you really made this into a freaking chain block thing?
What were you gonna say, Andre?
I don't think I went on 6.
Oh, go right ahead.
Well, since I'll go by really fast. Honestly, truth be told, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, Mortal Kombat honestly was just more culturally irrelevant than like a lot of anime fighters, because like, don't get me wrong, they were really popular like in the fighting game scene, like FGC, but like they were talking early 2000s to like the 2000s, especially like mid 2000s, you know, when Mortal Kombat Deception, Armageddon came out, and then eventually led to MK vs DC. Mortal Kombat, if anything, was like really just kind of helping the fighting game back on its feet, or at least it was keeping the fighting games relevant, or along with like Soul Calibur and Tekken, because fighting games were actually starting to die out around that time frame in like the 2000s, at least until like 2009 when Street Fighter 4 came in and just revived the genre. So I think a lot of those anime fighter stands are just kind of weebs, because even if you really don't like Mortal Kombat, you gotta acknowledge it is a very popular brand, and like pretty much everyone, everyone's like played it once in their lives. Like hell, even like some of the biggest actors at least played Mortal Kombat once. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I'm going to.
Mortal Kombat revolutionized the mature fighter. That like the reason why a lot of people really loved it is because of all the blood and gore and shit, and it made the ESRB what it was. It's cultural osmosis at this rate. I don't think that people really understand how big MK was when it came out in the 90s. It took the arcades by storm.
Side note about the gore thing. We still gotta wait on the outcome of that lawsuit for the PTSD lawsuit against NetherRealm.
Yes, because I heard of this. They were supposedly making people watch like gore porn, and it was giving them nightmares and stuff like that. So yeah.
They made them watch the South African children's war and crap, and to see how guts and stuff explode. And I'm like,
whoa,
I don't know about that. I don't think I could support that. NetherRealm said they stopped, but like the fact that you did that ever is kind of wee woo.
That's rather fucked up.
Like, I hope, and I like my Mortal Kombat games, but I really hope the staff wins that and they get to retire off of MK1's budget.
Give them a 401k just from all that torment alone. Jesus Christ, that should not be a thing. It's like, I understand you want to go for realism, but there's other ways to do it. Make some props and throw them around, like some fake intestines or something, or fake hearts, and see how they work. That's the best solution in my opinion. But
which is what they used to do, which is weird.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to sort of combine question 7 and question 8, and it's just like another rapid fire. Does anyone have any final opinions on the T1000 for MK1? And 2 games kind of came out as we were talking about fighting games from the 6 months past. So it's Bleach Rebirth of Souls and Garou City of Wolves. I'm gonna make mine real quick because I only played one of these so far, but I'm gonna speak on T1000. From what I understand, he's the new meta. He's the new broken person now that's really fun to play with, that's really good. In Mortal Kombat 1 with the tail end of Chaos Reigns, I want to get my hands on him as soon as I can, so maybe when I get paid again I'll play as him. But I'm a massive Terminator freak, and it's a no-brainer for me. I really didn't pick up the T800 when he came out. I sort of opted for Rambo because Rambo was kind of like a bigger thing for me at the time when I was playing Mortal Kombat 11. Therefore, I just picked him, and I just went off in that game. But this is like also great. Just you could tell Ed Boon is into the 80s, 70s boomer scenario, which is why I agree with Alia. Like, these young people, they aren't gonna understand, but to people like us, where it's like Terminator, Conan, all these other people, it's like, oh shit, we really are delving back into the past with our sort of age and childhood back then. So I really love stuff like that.
Don't remind me, I'm almost 30. Stop it.
I'm 30 now, so I'm definitely not getting any younger. As for Garou, I have not played it or the beta, so I cannot say anything other than the stuff that I saw already, which it looks fun for the most part. I'm sure people who have more detailed gameplay analysis is going to talk about that later in the podcast. And as for Bleach Rebirth of Souls, I'm probably one of the rare ones on this panel that have played this game, and I guess I'll give a little synopsis. The game is really, really fun, but it suffers once again from the Bandai Namco anime fighter syndrome, where they will basically send the game out to die when it basically needs crucial features. So one of the things that I've noticed when playing this game is I was like, all right, the launch is cool and all, and then I go to the online, and then the room matches wouldn't start. And I was like, okay, the game is crashing, the room matches wouldn't start. A couple of weeks later, people were noticing that, oh, the online is completely and systematically broken, and you can't search for people, and you have to do random lobbies to get them in, or you have to go to Xbox and get them added on either the dashboard, because they have like a community feature where you can fight people if you're hosting games, and you have to find people that way. So not only did they fuck the online up, but they also did not have a ranked mode initially at launch. And now they just have this lobby feature where as soon as someone jumps in the room, it's like up to 2 people. That's a match already started, as opposed to having like a full lobby of people
They're
that
cutting out for us.
You are going beep boop.
am I?
Yes, your mic is going again.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry about that. Am I fine now?
It's better now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in wireless mode on your mic, or are you plugged in?
No, it was a thing of maybe my fan was like a little bit too close to my face, but I'm good now, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So as I was saying that one of the things about the game is they messed up the ranked, and they messed up the lobbies because only 2 people can jump in a match. And I was just thinking to myself, why didn't they do spectator mode? Why didn't they do multiple people? It's a giant mess, and it's what everyone has been saying before. Like, every anime fighter that they send to die, and this was no different. But the gameplay is fun. It's a fun game. It's like life based. So you're fighting people, and essentially you have to deplete their sort of like soul meter, and once you get that all the way down to like 0 or something, you'll do like a special move, and you'll take numbers out. And once you take those numbers out, it'll go down more until they actually die. So you take all lives, they're dead. Really fun game, kind of weird movement at first, but once you get used to it, it's not the worst thing in the world. All the characters are unique and different. Some are more broken than others, like Soifon. Just Yoruichi is too good in the game.
They're in the game, but not Halo Ichigo. What the fuck is this nonsense?
Then there's also, yeah, there's people that are only exclusive in the story mode that you see. You do fight Hollow Ichigo, but he is not in the actual roster in the game itself to play with, which is kind of weird. It's a bit of characters that are kind of missing, but they are having a DLC for Thousand Year Blood War, so I guess Yuha Baha is going to be in there. But this game is fun, but I would not recommend it at full price for the time being. Luckily, I was fortunate and someone bought it for me, but
You cut out
Oh
again.
no, we lost Ren.
I cut out again.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for like a good 20 seconds.
I was gonna say this game is good, but don't buy it at base price.
Yeah, we heard that part, and then he went.
I think that's what I said. I sort of ended my
Okay.
point there. Kaneki, how about you? How do you feel about this question?
Let's see. I did play Garou, and oh boy, I do have fun with the new Fatal Fury game. I really do, despite the controversies this game had with the fucking Saudia, and they still shouldn't have allowed that rapist in the game. Just saying, SNK. That's why the CEO went is no longer CEO, huh? Anyways. It's a fun game. Except it does have some flaws. Like for some characters right now, ironically, the strongest character is Rad's main. I forgot her fucking name. The girl with the blue hair. She is strong, and especially how the just defend mechanic. You know how like third strike, their answer to third strike's parry. I think they could make it tone it a bit where it's not insanely ridiculous. Because people can easily just defend about anything, even normal attacks. The online, while it's decent, it's still not to where Street Fighter 6 online is at, where the netcode is. The netcode is so good. It's so good. Like you could play Street Fighter 6 right now, and you'll face like folks with over 100 pings and not get disconnected or lag, I should say. But yeah, the gameplay is fun. It's just they need to tweak it some more. For Bleach, I have not played it because I already played Naruto, the Storm games, enough to where I am not dealing with the same bullshit.
The actual presentation is really fucking good.
Oh, presentation in Storm is good, but
The gameplay is
But-
great too, but it's just the features or the lack thereof. That's bad.
I just hate the amount of anime arena fighters we're getting, man.
there's a reason for that.
This one didn't break the tide. Personally, I think they should have delayed it for about 8 more months. But Alia, you were saying something? You have something on this question?
Yeah. So I haven't bought the game because of the whole mess and because, unfortunately humanitarianism means that I can't support, buying the Saudi Arabia game. Because they explicitly admitted it was funded by them, so it's not even like something they did in-house. So but I am sad because Mai looks good. The character that was mentioned, I can't remember how to pronounce her name, and I feel like such a failure because I have a basic understanding how
Which
to pronounce Japanese names. Uh, but Mai Shiranui looks really good. Although a lot of people were mad she was in a biker jacket and jeans at first, but honestly, from what I've seen from people who have streamed it, who bought it, she looks fantastic. I thought it was funny people were mad, but in her finisher, like if you get to her super, she changes back into the towel thing. I don't know what else to call it. It's basically a towel. It's not even a full traditional garb. It's a towel now, the way they crop it. But everybody looks awesome. I know a lot of people are also mad that what the frick is her name? Janine? The blood girl.
Shannon?
Yeah. She looks older, and I'm like, well, she's supposed to be 40 now, so of course she's gonna look older. Like
I don't know.
my
I don't know how
looks-
people are upset about that. She got more physics than mine in that game, if you know what I mean.
I saw. Mai is supposed to be like 38 now, and she and Andy are like settled down and shite. Like this is supposed to be their happy ending time period. So like, why are you guys mad that they're adults? If we went by like the actual math, they debuted at like 20 in like they were 20 years old, her and Andy, back in 1988 when they appeared first. Like that's like they should be in their 60s now, guys. Almost like they should be in their late 50s. What are you guys talking about? But I don't mind it. I like it. It's unfortunate that I can't bring myself to really support it. If like it's given away for free or something, because there are those things that go around with like my memberships and stuff for certain bundle things,
Give it like
I'll
2 years.
get it then. But as far as Bleach, I thought Ren was gonna say it got the traditional Bandai Namco netcode at first, and I was gonna start cackling really hard because I don't know
kinda.
what it is, but the anime fighters have the worst freaking netcode. and it's been that way
Can
since the
confirm.
PS2 with Ninja Storm.
Can
I
confirm.
don't know what happened to the netcode in every single one of these.
There
I
is
need y'all to like
It's just they're using the same netcode. That's the issue. They never try to fix it or even replace it with rollback.
but they're not even using the Tekken netcode. Like you could literally walk down the hall to the Tekken team and be like, "Hey, can I borrow the netcode?"
okay. I
And
can
you
say this
chose
for Bleach. I can say this.
to use a
There
PDF
is
file as your netcode.
there is no rollback and there is no crossplay. That is confirmed.
I saw that. I saw the reviews. I read it after I saw it. People were playing.
Oh, you know what?
I was just like,
I'll give you this, friend. I'll give you this, friend. You didn't get the PC version of that game.
I didn't say PDF file, by the way, as a reference to like a pedo. I meant PDF file as in they literally took an Adobe Apricot file and went, here's our netcode.
Ren, at least you didn't get the PC version where people can play the game.
Yes, the
Yes,
PC version
that's
was
what I was
broken.
looking at, the Steam. So it's still down. You still can't connect to network. I don't know when they're gonna fix that.
Wait, on the Steam version? What the fuck?
Yeah. Like the PC is just broken. So I don't know when they're gonna fix it, but right now,
Yo, I don't know why these things are treating you all like second thoughts. I don't understand.
but if you look at it, like the reviews are 100% negative. Like there's one good review and it's I love Bleach. So Namco, you might want to fix that. But yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's funny because like everybody was shitting on the fact that they keep releasing expansion packs for the Power Rangers game that came out like several years ago now. But like it has good netcode and it's very well supported by fans. So of course they're going to continue to release DLC.
Too bad the studio went down. Hell.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Yeah, Bleach
Battlefield
is
Grid did so well, but then they fired everybody.
like I said,
Crypto, am I right?
cryptocurrency. Bleach
Yeah, that's what happened with that studio.
Bleach is
Yeah.
it's a fun game, and as for my netcode and experiences, I haven't had too many hiccups, but not having rollback or crossplay is an L, especially crossplay because it's hard to find people in matches.
And then as far as T1000, I already explained my like comment on that. Oh look, it's another Terminator. It's not even the Terminator any kids would recognize. So it's literally just Ed Boon having a lovely little wank off again.
Oh, I don't know. I do remember the Team 1000.
Yes, but I'm talking like my brother's age. Like freshly 18 now. People have no freaking clue who the heck he is. Like
I only agree with that with Conan. Because I don't agree with Conan being added in.
but like my brother is like, that's not the Terminator. The Terminator's Arnie. I'm like, oh child.
Oh,
They did not play 11, did they?
No, they did not play 11. But he
I saw
knows like
I saw someone
the-
saying the Terminator didn't have a generational impact. I'm like, fam, what?
they're still rolling out shitty sequels. Of course it had an impact.
Oh.
That's why some lesser fortunate Terminator fans that are not me keep going to theaters hoping they're gonna get better because James Cameron keeps writing more Terminator movies.
He's too busy with Avatar part 60,000. Like, God.
Which we've only gotten part 2 yet. We only got part 2 so far.
His last good movie was Alita Battle Angel, I swear to God. And he wasn't involved with it entirely.
No, he didn't even direct it. He wrote it.
Yeah, he just wrote it. Like,
And you know what?
back to writing that.
He had comics to base it off of, so he didn't even do all the writing.
That's true. He had a blueprint, essentially.
And it worked. Go back to that.
Oh, we're
Well.
not getting a sequel to that one because the studio for VFX had
Yeah,
like slavery
why.
links and shit, sadly.
That's what happens when either you don't get either you get shitty sequels or good movies don't get sequels these
Yeah.
days.
We have to shift to Street Fighter.
Yes.
Street
Yes.
Fighter.
Let's play Squid Game.
So
We get to go continue to talk about Booby Lady.
Booby Lady, Mai is out now, so I want to ask people, what do you
Oh,
think of
yes.
her, Elena, and your desires for year 3 of Street Fighter 6? And I will go with Kaneki first.
I would just like to say, the people that cried about Mai in City of the Wolves, those same people actually like Mai in Street Fighter 6, because oh my. They showed
Yes,
a
we
lot of
know they're
her in that game.
gooners. The
Yeah,
poor
but-
gooners couldn't
Did-
see all of her ass in City of the Wolves because she put on jeans, even though her ass is still there. Sorry.
Can I say I don't hate that outfit? I never understood that controversy.
No.
That Black Mai
I
outfit
liked
is
it. Too.
good.
That's why I
Me
said.
neither.
Like,
It looks nice on her.
I think for Street Fighter 6, it was more revealing than in City of the Wolves. So that's the only thing I'll say on that. Because the
Street
outfit
Fighter,
is
the
not
only
bad.
thing they could have done is put her in the cow outfit to make it even more revealing. That's literally the only worst thing they could have done.
I mean, they don't have their costumes 3 yet, so who knows? But I like Mai in Street Fighter 6. She's actually, if you like playing in terms of competitive, she's like maybe middle to high tier. But she's really good in Street Fighter 6. Something I didn't expect Mai to be, because when you play previous SNK games with the character Mai, she's not all that in terms of competitively or even casually. You're just there to mess around with the character. But
Disagree with that a little, but I'll save that.
in a way, in Street Fighter 6, they kind of try to make her like a menace. Like, she's not good, but she's not bad either. I'll say at this point, though, it's really hard to make her a shitty character, considering right now the shitty character in Street Fighter 6 is Lily, which they could have made a T-Hawk 2.0, but that's not what they did. As for Elena, I'm not getting my hopes too high for Elena, because she still has the move where she can heal herself, even if they tweak it to where you could supposedly use it once. I'm not buying that bullshit. It's a wait and see.
Oh
And
boy.
for my desire for season 3, well, I'm just praying a certain leak comes true.
I'm gonna give my opinion on this real quick. Now, before this podcast, I have not watched this Elena trailer, and I am seeing people get stuffed. I am seeing specials get dashed through. In my personal opinion, this looks like she would be a very, very annoying character to fight. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, because I'm just seeing overheads galore. And a lot of people in the comments are sort of signifying the same things, where she seems to be a rapid rush down character. And I love rush down, but
Oh my?
no, I'm talking about Elena. This seems to be
Okay.
taking it to the next extreme. I don't like her default outfit. It just looks like she's wearing zebra pants. No, I'm not really feeling that, but I'm
You got
sure.
her classic outfit. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I fast forward the trailer and I'm like, classic outfit. That's the one that I probably would wear.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Hello.
I just noticed her new stages looks fire too.
Yes. That's a pretty cool stage with the people in the back and the purple lighting. I really love how that shit looks. This is fucking awesome. As for I fought her a couple of times. I do want to pick her up too eventually, but I haven't had the time. She's fun. If you try to jump in on you are fucked, essentially, because she's going to do that flaming kick and you're gonna be screwed, or you're gonna get elbowed for making too many mistakes against that character, which I think is needed for more methodical players for Street Fighter in general. which is awesome. Like, so far they've been killing it. Even the character that I'm not really interested in a lot, which is Elena, is still cool, but as someone says in the comments, healing Vietnam flashbacks.
Street Fighter 4 flashbacks, man.
Yeah, so someone said that triggered their PTSD, and I can fully see it happening with that move. As for year 3, surprised me. I seen the leak, and all I'm gonna say is, two of my favorite characters is on there, and if that's true, I'm gonna be like, yeah, they making me act up in this game. They gonna make me buy that season pass immediately. And that's all I have to say for that in particular. Andre, it's your turn. What do you think of all this Street Fighter stuff? My Elena and year 3.
So I played my actually. So to clarify, I bought the season 2 pass, and I have used my. She's really fun. I think she's an awesome guest character, and Capcom knocked it out of the park with pretty much everything, like her animations, just her visual design. I do love her Krieg. I do love her level 3 super. It looks really, maybe one of the best in the game. Well, maybe, because it does. I do like how it calls back to old Japanese movies. Also, one thing, her English voice is really good. Like, I think mine English is actually really damn good. Like, I'm part of the Japanese, if anything. So that's another thing I like to say. Elena, I know a lot of people. Some people really don't like her new outfit, which personally I actually really like it a lot. But at the same time, I'm glad they have the OG outfit because you can't be the original design. But as for people having PTSD with Elena's skills, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Really like the new stage they also got for her. I sort of don't really have much else to say, but one thing I do want to say on season 3 is like for the season 3, bring back. I mean, bring back a con. That's all I gotta say. Bring back a con. Oil Man from Street Fighter 4. Just do it to make people mad.
I'm surprised you're the only person that wanted back.
I honestly think the Khan was a pretty underrated character. Like, I know people hate him. I genuinely thought he was a really interesting off-the-wall character for Street Fighter. But if they can't bring him back, I would like to see Necro return from Street Fighter 3. I think it'd be a really neat. Oh, wait. I don't know about Abel.
Fucking Hakan rubbing chicken grease on his balls, like. Okay. I hate Hakan.
Chill, fam. He'll have a super where he'll put fucking oil himself up, and all of your attacks like deal no damage.
Yeah, but you like
10
that, man.
seconds.
I just see people gooning to Elena in the chat. I'm just like, there it is, right there. This pose, but the original costume. Some people are freaks. They will lick the toes off the salt of the earth, and I swear they would not have any self-control. God damn.
Speaking of, did you know, instead of Mai and Chun-Li being the rivalry in Street Fighter 6, they're trying to tease Mai and Jury being the new rivalry for Mai.
That's interesting and weird, and I want to see how it turns out. I like it.
Oh, there you go. Ren likes it.
Well,
yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't be against that. Something to shake up the usual formula.
Yeah, so something a little different. I don't mind that one too much. Alia, it is your turn. What do you think of all this Street Fighter 6 stuff?
I mean, I don't mind. I'm gonna say something kind of that some fighting fans might hate me for, but I feel like Capcom handles crossovers the best. The only other company that handles them just as good is Koei Tecmo, as far as like staying true to the characters' designs and making them enjoyable to play as well, not trying to shit on their mechanics and stuff when they come over because they're competitors, character or anything. Like, they're really good at keeping everything intact as far as, you know, the game and play and everything. So I don't hate it. I am curious to see who else they put in. I really am, but you know, I really I'm not minding any of it so far. I do need to get my own copy because I do want to play more. But yeah, it's looks fun so far. As far as like, I think they could probably bring in like, and I know people are gonna hate me for this, but bring in her spouse too, maybe. I'm not an Andy Bogard player, but I feel like if they do another round of, you know, character crossovers, they should probably bring him in just to complete the pair there. Uh, he doesn't really get put into a lot of games as a, like, you know, DLC, and I feel like that would be kind of an interesting, if they are going to go the jury route, I feel like that'd be an interesting piece to that puzzle, you know, for a crossover. Like it's like when Akuma was like put in Tekken and he's like so and so's, you know, family member and stuff. Like making the connections, like bringing in family ties and stuff, sometimes works really well at introducing crossover characters uh into a storyline. So I feel like that would work. I also, and this is gonna sound funny, so there's been an uptick in people in the fighting game community requesting Blood Rain to be in fighting games for some reason, out of the blue. I don't mind. I still love Blood Rain.
Wait, that
So
vampire chick from Blood Rain? What the fuck?
yes, yeah, the main character Rain. I wouldn't be upset if Capcom considered it. Apparently,
Maybe.
Blood Rain was considered for Mortal Kombat 1, but got scrapped. So,
I was
I
gonna say
mean,
she would fit more in MK.
yeah, she got scrapped. But like considering Capcom has Darkstalkers and stuff, I would obviously would love Morgana, but you know, that's not likely for Street Fighter. Let's be real. Like you said, vampires aren't exactly a Street Fighter thing. So,
They'll
I
add
mean,
in, they'll
it
add in
looks like
another
they're.
rep school character for a guest and call it a day. Again.
It seems like they're handling it a lot better than they handled Street Fighter V. And yes, I am going to stand on that hill that Street Fighter V was handled horribly. Yeah, by the end you had a kind of playable game, but it was bad.
Thanks,
Let me
Ultron.
voice another controversial opinion about 5 compared to 6. Uh, Street Fighter Alpha is better than Street Fighter V. That is how bad Street Fighter V was. So keep going the opposite direction, Capcom, please.
Yep, it seems to be working out just fine with 6. Oh,
Also, Cammy is fine with clothes on. Shut up, you gooners.
I don't understand half of these controversies, as I like to call them. I like Cammy's default outfit. I think it's fine.
Also,
She's
her
hotter
eyes are
anyway.
fine.
That
Her
point.
eyes don't need to look Japanese. She is fucking British.
She's British, yeah. But next, we're going to move on to the Virtua Fighter stuff. So they have Virtua Fighter Direct, and they showed off Wolf's new look in Virtua Fighter 6, and Revo is also getting a next gen update, and they're introducing crossplay. What do you guys think about this? Kaneki, go first.
Okay, so for the Virtua Fighter 5 Evo crossplay news, hey, other fighting games that doesn't have crossplay, you should really get on that right now. It's the norm.
Like, why
Stop
do you
being
not have
lazy.
this?
The fact that Sega even finally considers that an option is like, how come Sega at least knows where is it heading to? I'm starting to believe Virtua Fighter 6 will also have crossplay because of this, which would be good. I don't know why some other fighting games won't have it, or still doesn't have it to this day.
I understand it for like console exclusive physical versions. Like there are some indie ones that are like that are like Xbox exclusive, which is a whole nother jar of worms there. For physicals, and then they're like digital on others, that I kind of understand. But yes, if you're going on all platforms, you need to be crossplay and usable crossplay.
So, also, I hope Virtua Fighter is still one of the fighting games that this is going to be definitely a controversial take, but I do not want Virtua Fighter to be um prioritize the casuals. Let it be a hardcore, like a mainly hardcore only fighting game, where you really have to learn the game just by playing it. Know the hard mechanics the game has to offer. Which, not gonna lie, Virtua Fighter 6 might add some casual things to it, but hopefully it will be like Virtua Fighter 5, where you still have to learn the game. If you want to be competitive and it gets harder after that. As for Wolf in Virtua Fighter 6, he looks amazing. Like, this man definitely aged. And there's rumors that because of his different look, they're saying that Wolf turned heel, if you know wrestling terms. Heel as in he's probably the bad guy in this, in Virtua Fighter 6.
Dude, he looks fucking incredible. I guess it's my turn, but he looks fucking amazing. Just it's what you would expect from a heel wrestler, just wearing the leather, the black, and everything. Having
Wolf Pack.
yeah, the wolf pack. Just it looks cool. I can't wait to see how they're gonna do like stuff like classic outfits, because that's also something that I want to see. But this is a natural evolution for the character. The tattoos look cool. It's just everything is like badass with the presentation. Uh, as for them doing what they did with Revo, I think that is great because it shows that, hey, we're not just gonna put this PC version out and have it die in like 5 seconds, as opposed to other developers. So I'm just telling myself, like, yeah, this is really good that they're actually supporting the release, and more console players will be able to get on it with the next gen update, and Switch 2 is coming out. They're gonna want those people to play as well. I can't wait. It means I get to go to the game and try it, because I know I bought it and I have not been on it in a while. And then I get to fight against the other players, whether on PS5, Xbox, or Switch. So it's going to be awesome. I think this was a great little direct. The only thing I would say is I wish they showed a little bit more, just a little bit more. And it kind of leads into the next question, but I'm gonna answer that in a bit. Andre, it is your turn. What do you think of the new Virtua Fighter news?
Was that Ren?
Virtua Fighter 6, they showed off Wolf, and the Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is getting a sort of next gen console crossplay update. What do you think of it?
Well, first off, Wolves 3 design looks fucking amazing. Like, he looks incredible. Like, they really knocked it out of the park. I do kind of like how he's got more like facial hair on. They sort of gave him some like of a bit of a beard, I guess, on his side beard on his cheeks. And if you look a little bit at his face, he does kind of look a lot older, like a more grizzled. So I'm guessing it's like 10, 15 years later in the future. Really excited that I really, like I said, I love his redesign, knocked it out of the park. As a Virtua Fighter 5 Revo game, PS5 version along with, being on Switch and Xbox, that's great. Rollback, like, yeah, I'm really excited for this. Like, I cannot wait for the game. Definitely looking forward to, because I actually always wanted to get good at Virtua Fighter. Like, I'd say it was like okay at it, but this might be the time I'll actually like get serious with it. One thing I do hope for Virtua Fighter 6 is like the game doesn't have like super moves or comeback mechanics. They keep it strictly like how VF5 was, like just raw skill and learning the mechanics.
Yep, agreed.
And so I think what they should do is just put a lot of tutorials in the game. Just do like extensive in-game tutorials so you can learn characters more. Like, do something like a mission. Do like something like a mission mode, just to learn characters better. I think that would really help for the game. But other than that, it's really all I gotta say about Virtua Fighter. And Yeah, that's really about it. Yeah.
Alia, what do you think of these new updates to RGG's new Virtua Fighter and the stuff about Revo getting a new crossplay update?
I mean, we have almost as many Virtual Fighter versions, Virtual Fighter 5s what was it? Street Fighter 3 now? Has quite a few versions because it was just re-released again for Switch. But I don't mind. I like VF5. As far as like what was mentioned earlier, like Virtual Fighter needs to stay a Virtual Fighter. I know that's gonna piss off a lot of people who've thought about getting into the game, but we don't need it to be a casual game. There's already enough casually leaning fighting games. Go play Mortal Kombat or something, you lazy fuck. Leave my Virtual Fighter alone. Uh Ren unmuted. You have a comment. What is the comment?
I was just gonna say that's amazing. I agree with that.
I mean, a lot of us too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a lazy fook, go play MK. You can
Let
literally
Virtua
buy
Fighter
your
be.
finisher.
Let
Go buy
Virtua
your
Fighter
finishers.
be the last game to be hard.
Please don't
like
casualize it, please.
we already lost Dead or
Yeah.
Alive to the casualization. I did not mind the costumes. I'm not talking about the costumes. I'm talking about all the buying bullshit, extra bullshit, and like the mass amount of season passes that tripled from 5 to 6 for Dead or Alive. Like, no, we don't need VF6 to turn into that or anything. Leave it alone. Wolf looks like if Seamus just like started wearing Samoan face paint, but like it's cool. It works. As far as him being a villain, I'm not too sure on that. I think he will probably be like an anti-hero type role where he's just kind of a dickhead, but like he's not evil, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
I feel like we haven't had one of those in a very long time, and if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Sega just to troll everybody. Because the Virtua Fighter team loves to troll people. As far as like the other characters and stuff, I am curious to see like how Sarah looks if this is 15 years in the future. It's not like in a like sexual way, but just like because over the years throughout the series, she hasn't really changed at all, like at all. She's kind of gotten to that like stereotypical fighting game thing where they're like, oh yes, it's been 20 some years, but they have not aged like they used to do with Nina Williams and Tekken for like 5 years. It's like, oh yes, she was in a coma for 15 years. She had a baby, but she still looks 19. Like, no, stop that. Nobody realistically looks like that. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, but I don't want my video games to be realistic. Get over yourself, bud. Like, yeah, you can have some like pinup girl type stuff and stuff, but like you can't expect everybody to look so unrealistic. It's insane. If you really need unrealistic waistlines and stuff that bad, I have a game suggestion for you. It's called Stellar Blade. It's quite fun. Go play it. But like Japan doesn't like much older. That is a lie. That is a bold lie. So, like, there's, especially right now, people are getting shocked who are traveling to Japan from the US when they go to Japan and they see, like, older women, like, in their 40s and 50s still dressing in, like, Sanrio and stuff. And, like, they're not, like, sexualized for it. They're just getting called adorable by random people on the street. Like, I think unfortunately the negative stereotypes have made it over to the West more than anything. Like, yeah, there's still the creepy men and stuff like that, but who are like that. But there's like a mass amount of people who just they're like, oh yeah, look how cute. And then Western assumes that because they're cute, wearing cute stuff, that means that they're sexualizing them, and it's like, no. Cute does not equate to sexualization. It just means they are cute. They're wearing cute clothes. They look adorable. Leave it that. Don't make it gross. So I'm curious to see, because they did, like I said, for City of the Wolves, they aged up all of everybody pretty much. I mean, look at Terry. Terry, of course, has like the same long blonde hair, but like his face has visible wrinkles and shit. Like, I think it's not that they don't want to do it, it's that they're afraid of like a lot of times the backlash from like, how do I say this without getting in trouble? The incel community, the certain community of redditors and tweeters, who throw tantrums if they even see a singular stretch mark, with those games. Because, like I said, with the Cammy thing earlier, there was a lot of people who were angry that she looked like she was from Europe now, and they were angry at the Japanese developers for doing that. And it's like, the have are you okay? Like, she's not Japanese. Why does she need to look Japanese? So I'm curious to see how everybody gets like modeled. I really hope, and I know this is Andre mentioned this, but I do hope they actually don't just keep Sarah and the other female characters in the same exact outfits they've been in since Virtua Fighter 1 in 1994, guys. Like, come on. Give us something new.
Well, you're lucky that if you saw the, what is it, the early Virtua Fighter 6 showcase, that is not Sarah.
Yeah, they keep saying it's Stella, or I don't know what's going on there, dude.
Yeah, Stella. I'm assuming she must be related to Sarah because holy fuck. How are you gonna convince other people that is not
Sarah.
not Sarah? Because he looks like Sarah too. Like, what the fuck?
What I'm hoping is the case, and I was trying not to outright say it, I'm hoping, like, since it's almost 20 years later in the timeline, I'm hoping that's like her kid or something.
They might go down that route. I kind of expect it.
I'm okay with that. As much as people hate when fighters have kids, like I remember when Tina was like admitted to being Bass's kid in Dead or Alive, everybody was pissed. I was like, I'm only annoyed by the ancestral implications. I don't give a shit that he has a kid.
I love that relationship, actually. Hell, Talia. That relationship.
I did too,
like,
once they fixed it.
Yeah.
Like, because in the first couple games, they made it kind of really gross, and then they did the DOA movie, and it made it really gross. And I'm like,
can we not talk about that movie?
Please fix this. Then they fixed it in like DOA 4, 5, and 6, and I'm like, thank you.
Well, I don't want to talk about 6 for other reasons.
Yeah, like, don't make him a overprotective dad, not a dad who's in love with his kid. That's what needed fixed, and it got fixed, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with like fighters having kids. Like, I know a lot of people were mad when, you know, Terry adopted, you know, the Howard kid. Like, I don't care. They're humans.
Hold on.
Even if they're not humans, let them have children.
What outrage for that? There was outrage for him adopting Rock?
Yeah.
What was that?
During King of Fighters 13 specifically, a lot of people were mad he was in the game. They're like, why is Rock in there? He's not even an actual character in the series. And we're like, what, did you think that was an alternate universe? No, that's canon, bro.
These people are brainless.
they have like, not played Garou. I'm sorry.
I used to make, like, on my channel, like, I don't do it anymore. I've not done fighting game videos in a very long time. Like, actual, like, deep dives on games. But, like, Ren could probably remember, like, during some of them, they're like, oh no, that can't be canon. That is canon. Get over it.
That's a lot of denial of reality there from certain people.
Denial is a river in Egypt. I need you to not swim in it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that one. Oh, but it seems that we are winding all the way down to the final two questions. This is going to be the end of the Virtua Fighter stuff, but there was this silhouette of this man fighting, and to me personally, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it looks like he has a man bun. And he was doing a couple of moves at the end of the Virtua Fighter Direct, and nobody knows what is going on with this character, who he may be. So let's speculate. Who do you think this guy is, and who he might turn out to be when they finally announce him? Kaneki, I want you to go first.
You said he's a new fighter or a returning fighter?
So I
He's
will.
supposed to be a new one, possibly.
We don't know. I'm gonna post a picture of him in the chat from what we saw. I can't tell who this dude is.
I'll say this: if it's a returning character, then that's 100% Brad. If not, then I don't know who the fuck are we supposed to look at.
That's the guy they teased at the end,
Yeah,
and
him.
considering you can't see his
That has
face,
to be Brad.
that's the first thing that I
Yeah.
said. It's gotta be Brad because he's doing all these little moves and these little knees and stuff like that. I'm like, that's kind of how Brad fights. So why wouldn't it be him? It's probably gonna be him saying "might makes right," and I can't wait for that. So. But it could be a new person. It's just like, why would they do some of the same style?
Unless if it's a new person, I'm willing to bet it's his student.
His student, maybe. Yeah, I can kind of see that. But me personally, I want this to turn out to be Brad, and that would be a cool reveal because it's something straight off the heels of him being in another game, which was Virtua Fighter 5. So why not? Anyone else have any takes on who this may be?
If it
I
is
do.
not Brad, I hope it's a random like random ass sumo wrestler.
So another
Yeah,
one.
Give us
Like,
the stereotypical sumo wrestler. We've not had one yet.
I thought we did have one, but he
We did
wasn't.
have one.
He wasn't in the game for the longest time. I forgot his name. Araki something.
Takarashi.
Yeah, Takarashi.
Takarashi. Yeah.
He was
He was.
in
Dog
3
Day.
and 5.
Yeah.
He was.
Then
I
he was
think
there
the
for like
reason-
20 seconds.
Damn.
Yeah. I think he was cut because of hardware limitations. They couldn't get his model to work correctly. Yeah, it's Brad. It has to be Brad Burns. I don't think it's. I think, like I said in chat, I was like, yeah, that's same exact pose he does with his fist. That has to be Brad. I just hope they give him a better voice actor next time because oh my god,
Look,
be a voice acting pro.
I'm gonna need the cheese to come back just a little bit. I know it's dumb, but I would
The
rather.
voice acting cheese, yes, please.
Yes, I need the cheese.
Yeah.
I need the English. I need all of that to come back, dude. And this guy is specifically doing like Muay Thai. So I mean, it's right there. It's got to be Brad. I can't see it as anyone else. If it's someone new, cool. But I still hope he's in the game. Alia, do you have any opinions on this?
Like I said, I hope it's another joke character, honestly. If it's not him. Just because I don't know. I love the storyline in Tekken where they're like, yes, we're going to give you a sumo wrestler and he's going to be in love with this really, really pretty supermodel type chick. And we're going to try to make you guys love him, which, by the way, did you realize they were trying to make us love him, not to make fun of him? Did you see that in the Tekken documentary recently? But the ugh. I don't know. I love the cheesy characters that are like.
Oh, you mean Garou trying to fall in love
Yeah.
with Julia? That was weird.
It was cute though.
It was not like him
weird
though.
as
I don't know why
fuck.
they changed him.
No, that's what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to change him. Like, he's still a scary fighter, but like they were trying to show, oh look, he can fall in love with people and be soft and squishy. But they did it in a way that like all the like incels made fun of him. I was like, you know what? I kind of fuck with this. And then they just kind of got rid of him, and I was like, no, finish the storyline. Don't leave it. It was cute and funny. Bring it back. I don't know. I like Kuma wanting to marry Panda.
Yeah. I don't know. That plotline's hilarious.
It is hilarious. And then Panda's like, I love you, but no.
You know what's funny? The PlayStation UK account was like marketing those two characters.
Yes, I know. I
Come on,
know.
Panda. It was like during the Baldur's Gate 3 hype. It's
I
like,
saw
oh,
that.
they were like Tekken 8 with Kuma and Panda. Like, what the fuck?
No, I don't know. I love myself some goofy stories like that. I'm cool with that. I want another clumsy sumo wrestler who's like tough and scary and then all of a sudden bloop, falling over himself. I don't know. I like that archetype. We have only had it once in Tekken, but it worked for me. Like, yeah, it was goofy, and you laugh about it and stuff, but it wasn't the horrible thing. Like, seriously, we have people yeeting people into volcanoes. It's fine. In Virtua Fighter, we have people having literal gutter rudge fights like 30 years later. It's fine. Give us a goofy character.
Just we're not gonna see this character until much later if they even exist here. But bring back Doral. That'd be funny. And then she just beats the shit out of everyone at the end of the game, just like she usually does.
Look. People may hate female Silver Surfer.
Hold up. Pause. Julia is not 30 years younger than me. She's supposed to be 29. Excuse you.
Look, all the silver about female Silver Surfer is them cheeks, and the same goes for Doral.
I was gonna say, I mean, they can hate female Silver Surfer. Doral does it better than her.
I ain't hating because I'm looking at both of them.
You're looking at both. Okay.
All right, Virtua Fighter, you have the opportunity to do something really funny here. Bring in the Marvel license for the Silver Surfer and actually make it a girl.
Dude, that would be hilarious. I would literally be beating the shit out of people with a surfboard. That'd be funny.
You got an opportunity to do something comedy gold.
So Doral with a surfboard. Perfect.
It was funny. All right, we are on the final question, which is kind of a rapid fire of a lot of news. At this point, people can kind of pick out the news they want to talk about, the one they want to ignore, or just vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But this is everything else that has released so far. So Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is out now. Any opinions on it? Grand Blue Fantasy Versus has a new character revealed called Galleon. Unica was revealed for Guilty Gear Strive, and the final character that's coming up for Season 4 is going to be Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. There's some beat 'em up news. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is looking fire, and there's some gameplay and a release date is coming out this year. This was surprising to me that I found, but I dug up some Streets of Rage 4 stuff, and apparently Emu was gonna have a version of Skate, and someone found the art of him being in the game, or at least how he's supposed to look, and well, he's not. We don't get this particular version. And the last thing is Emu is working on a new beat 'em up called Marvel Cosmic Evasion. What do you think about this news, if you care about it? And I will go with Alia first.
I don't need another Marvel beat 'em up. Stop it. Let's start there first.
Look, I
The
know
last
Avengers
few Marvel
was,
ones have been
I know
horrible.
Avengers was
No, I'm talking beat 'em up wise. Like the last good one was Ultimate Alliance 2. 3 was it was funny because
you didn't like the third one?
I liked the storyline. The mechanics sucked. The roster was good.
My only issue with that game is it was a Switch exclusive, and it failed
That
because
too.
of that.
Yeah, it should have been.
Like, bro, that
other
game
platforms.
series was a multi-plat. It shouldn't be exclusive.
It was the biggest on PlayStation 2, sadly. So like
Yeah.
they should have just left it multi. And it's not on PC either, which Ultimate Alliance, when it was on PC, for the whole 5 minutes it was on PC, because Activision and PC licenses are like hot sauce and ice cream. They don't go together.
I would actually bought it on PC if they ported Ultimate Alliance 3 on PC.
Damn it.
The ice cream thing. But as far as Guilty Gear Strive, I don't know. The crossover characters have been hit and miss for my brain. I don't care. As far as Shinobi Art of Vengeance, again, that's when I Eh, eh. Grand Blue Fantasy, I've kind of fallen out of love with for a while, but the character looks cool. I don't think I'm gonna play it. Capcom Fighting Collection, as we discussed. Woohoo! We get another version of Street Fighter 3. Woo!
Alpha 3. Go on.
The point stands, kind of, sort of, got pretty much the same roster. And then, yeah, I've already mentioned the Marvel thing. Skate looks cool. It looks cool, but I'm kind of burnt out on Marvel games, honestly. We got Marvel Rivals. We still have all these other Marvel games that came out the last 2 years. They still haven't given any marketing budget to Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, which is getting around and getting praised now because of like word of mouth, because they were trying to push Marvel Avengers so hard, but they gave Square Enix such strict guidelines on what suits they could and could not use and what they could and could not use in the game that it made it basically unplayable. They added DLC later, but again, it was so strict that people were like, yeah, I'm gonna go play Midnight Suns, thanks. Midnight Suns was good. I quite enjoyed it. I still play it every once in a while. I'll reinstall it and play it. I know it's a card game and everybody hates card games, but I actually kind of like the card mechanics for that RPG.
No,
but yeah, I'm just
they just play something else with that mechanic.
it was really good. Marvel's Midnight Suns I liked, but like I'm a little burnt out on Marvel games. I say this as a Marvel fanboy. If we're gonna do anything new, can we have a new X-Men game, please? Just like straight up X-Men. There's so many X-Men characters.
Are you willing to make the one from Insomnia with the Wolverine?
I know we're getting that, but I mean like an actual like X-Men game.
Oh, you're not gonna get that anytime soon.
Because like the last X-Men game we had was 20 years ago now.
I feel like, we're not getting that one anytime.
You might as well play Marvel vs. Capcom for that.
I know. But we still haven't gotten another one of those in almost 15 years, and it makes my soul hurt. Infinite does not exist.
Fucking X-Men characters are functions. It's a combo feed.
Oh my god, that made me want to rip my head off, dude.
The worst PR answer, because I know they can't say the actual reason, Disney.
But they now own them. They now own them. They now own them.
Right now, it's no excuse, but back then they didn't have Fox. I remember that.
Yeah, but they shouldn't answer calling them functions. What the fuck?
Worst PR of all time. And
then they're like, oh yeah, what about Magneto? And they're like, oh, Magneto doesn't apply to that rule. And we're all like, throw our hands in the air. What the fuck?
The X-Men are not that popular.
No, you can't. No,
God, I remember that.
You got Captain Marvel for Magneto's bullshit. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not picking her.
Well,
or my favorite around that whole fiasco was the comics around that time. And they were like, ah yes. So remember how we admitted Iceman was gay the whole time? Now we're gonna make him the victim of hate crimes and a bunch of other stuff. And then we're gonna make Kitty Pryde marry Star-Lord. I'm sorry, what?
I'm kind of glad I don't read the comics these days for Marvel and DC.
Like I said,
the Star-Lord storyline was
there
weird.
Is some good ones, but the really, really like obscure storylines where they try to ship another character into another character and it doesn't work. I don't appeal to the shippers, please. Yeah, especially if it doesn't.
None of us like Gamora's standing there the whole time as Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord are just blah, 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 and we're all just going, oh, Gamora.
Oh my god.
But I guess I'll try to answer this one. Okay, I'll start from favorite thing I'm looking forward to or thing that I'm interested in to hear about, then least favorite. I think the Marvel beat 'em up is kind of cool, only because I say this, like, it's .emu, and I liked Streets of Rage 4. Therefore, that team seems to be cooking with beat 'em up games in general. I just think that all it takes is a good team. And if it's really fun, just like that game, I will definitely play it like no problem, most definitely, because I'm a huge fan of that and that verse. As for them cutting out Skate, he looks cool. Just I can't shit on any of the new designs for the Streets of Rage 4 characters or whatever in the art style, because it looks pretty dope and he looks more mature as opposed to how he was like a kid back then and whatnot. So this is a great redesign, and I'm very shocked that it got cut overall, because they have Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3, 4. They have those sort of characters all in the game, which is kind of weird. But hopefully it comes in an update. I guess we'll have to see. As for Grand Blue and Strive, I'm not a Grand Blue player, and Strive, the last character I got was Valentine, and that was it. And I just remember shooting people quite a lot as that character, because that's all I fucking did. And I just literally found out that she's like Ramithal's sister. So
Oh, wait,
Hmm?
I'm glad you mentioned Strive
yes,
because I would not recommend playing that game online because of a security leak from that game. And you know how people are trying to make their own games based on that source code of Strive?
yeah.
I will not play the game online right now. You could
Oof.
get hacked. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's, well, I will not be firing that up on my PC anytime soon. So that's going right in the bin until they fix it. But yeah, I have not played since the third season of characters, and I guess maybe I'll look and see how Lucy is from Edge Runners. But other than that, it's just like ever since Valentine, I haven't played the game in like so goddamn long. For what is it, Art of Vengeance Shinobi, it looks dope, it looks really cool. It's just at this point, since they announced the release date, I kind of just want to get my hands on it and play it. But I have no doubt that it's from the same team, Streets of Rage 4, so it's going to be a banger for sure. And all the gameplay looks like really fast-paced, fun, furious. I hope there's something for co-op, but you know what, if it's single player, fuck it, I'm still gonna enjoy it. And Capcom Fighting Collection 2, I definitely want to get my hands on it, but especially for, you know, Power Stone, all that other fun stuff and whatnot. But I have not so far. I've heard people say that they had some rage quits in certain games like Rat, but overall, though, it just seems to be a kind of weird time for fighting games. And a slew of good news. We have a bunch of terrible news so far. But the future could be bright. I guess it remains to be determined. Kaneki, it is your turn. What do you think of all this news and information?
Um, I'm surprised none of y'all bring this up first or when you guys want to talk about. I'm excited for the new Shinobi based on, .emo Streets of Rage 4 devs. I'm really excited what they're going to have to offer in the Shinobi. I heard the only thing I don't like is, I don't know if it's an exclusive level that you only get if you pre-order the digital deluxe edition. The level design looks cool, but I hope that's not locked behind the digital deluxe edition of the game, because that would have been that would be a bad idea, especially if you want all the game incomplete at launch. For the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, I'm really having fun with that collection, especially with games like CVS 2, Project Justice. I have yet to touch Power Stone. I'm waiting for like 3 more players just to try that out. Cause you can only do the 4-player in lobbies. But I'm having fun with the collection. Skate being removed in Streets of Rage 4 or cut. I don't like that, but in a way I can understand why. they kind of like make a sacrifice. It's like, all right, it's either we keep Skate or we make like a, I guess in a way, a new character. Because if they wouldn't try to make a new character, saying like Adam's daughter, for example, right? They would have definitely kept Skate. Um, I don't care about Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, because the last time I talked about that was 2B, and she was busted before they nerfed her. Was there anything else?
Just what else do we have here? Let me
Oh, the
think.
Marvel beat 'em up. I'm
Yeah, the
excited
Marvel
for
beat 'em up.
them. I want to see what they have to do, what they have to offer in that beat 'em up. As soon as they, you know, me as don't pick. I don't be picky with Marvel beat 'em ups. I just see Venom and I'm like, all right, I'm instantly in.
And then Strive, which Unique is a character, and I'm just kind of like, let's Strive. So I kind
Well,
of just skim past it.
well, I can't be hyped for Strive stuff anymore because of the security hack situation. So I'm good. I'm not willing to get my shit hacked.
Andre, it is your turn. What do you think of this assortment of news for question number 12?
Let's see, with all the well, I'm gonna go five fast. I don't have Fighting Collection 2. I am going to be. I'm likely going to be getting it probably around my birthday because I want to play CVS 2 again, obviously. I'm interested in getting Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I did like when I played Grand Blue versus, and I know that Rising has a free to play version of it, so maybe I'll try out the free to play version and decide if I want to get the full game. I haven't played Strive in like 3 years, so maybe Unica and Lucy will be the reason I go back. I just think the game really bored me. I'm sorry, that Strive just wasn't doing it for me. And so as for the beat 'em ups, I do think it's interesting that Skate was going to be in Streets of Rage 4. We got cut from the final game. I guess I'm guessing they didn't know how to implement his fighting style. Maybe that's probably my best guess on where they implement the game. But maybe that could be the reason. Shinobi and Marvel Cosmic Invasion with Fire. We're definitely looking for both. But I do hope that Sumo doesn't become relegated to just be doing beat 'em ups. Like maybe do like fighting games or something like that. I like them to branch out a bit from genres, but that's really all I gotta say.
Alrighty, and we are going to sign out for this packed Buster Wolf. That is all the fighting game news that I accumulated 6 months.
Oh wait, there's one more.
One more? What else?
2XKO was trash. Now we can leave.
I am. Isn't that new Riot sort of fighting game that people
Yeah,
were
League
talking
of
about?
Legends fighting game.
So it's just
Yes.
basically not that good.
But here's the thing: none of the devs at Riot wanted to do it.
No, this is done by you know the guys that did the GTPO network for FGC, the rollback shit.
Yeah.
I forgot what they were called, the something brothers. I forgot their names, but basically they're the ones doing the fucking game.
I just remember there were people complaining about how the inputs were lax and how they were super easy to do certain things, and then people were also talking
Oh
about
yeah,
how
there's no input motions for specials.
yeah, no input motions for special moves, which I thought was like, so is it like
It's
a
the-
one button fighter?
Oh, well, definitely not that, but it's definitely a huge casualized fighting game.
Okay, then my brain is gonna be like, I'm not really interested. I need a little bit more heft to my combat, and taking away the motions ain't gonna do it for me. Also, I mean, like I said, the animations look cool, but just I'm hearing low roster, everything else. It's not something that it seems I want to just jump into immediately at all.
I would say wait till the game is out, but even then,
What
they
is
have
it
to
like in beta test or early
it was.
access?
The thing is, when they said they were gonna take out a lot of combos and infinites in that game, they actually meant it. And because of that, the game is objectively worse because now you can't do crazy shit.
That's like taking
So you can't
combos
even
out of
have
Marvel.
fun.
That would be like, hey, for the next MVC game, we're gonna completely take out happy birthdays and all the fun, flashy stuff. Like, oh man, dude, it's like every game they want to compete and they gut the fun stuff. That usually is where it dies. But
Mhm.
maybe next podcast I'll try it, and I might be echoing the same sentiment. So we're gonna wait till, well, everyone knows is coming. Summer Games Fest is on the horizon. There's probably gonna be some fighting game stuff maybe there, if not the other Evos that are coming this year, as well as Tokyo Game Show, which is in September, and then after a couple more months, we're gonna sort of see where fighting games are going then. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some announcements and some characters. Capcom definitely will be speaking up. So once they do, we will be on board with another Buster Wolf. Until then, we are signing out. We're gonna do our outros. So Kaneki, where can we find you on social media?
You kind of ran
Oh, I said, where can we find you on social media?
for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can find me on X, YouTube, and I think on Discord at this point. Gruul World Order, GHOUL World Order.
Hey, Leah, where can we find you on social media?
I am back on the Twitter because god damn it, I have to use it for YouTubing. I am on Blue Sky as Alia, ALLIA dash hyphen lov.net. I use my website handle for it. And then on the Bird app, I am LIA underscore LOVIEVT. And then I'm also on Twitch, but instead of the underscore between Leah and Lovey, it is Leah Lovey and then underscore VT. I'm on the U of Tubes, both under my music name, Aaliyah Love, and then under the VTuber stuff. And then I just kind of pass them around in here as well for the Discord for IAS.
Andre, where can we find you on social media, buddy?
You can find me at Twitter, place Andre B Venom. Blue Sky, same as per usual. And also on Discord. I'm also on YouTube, and I usually stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So yeah, plugging that in a bit. But yeah, overall, really fun podcast. Excited for the next one coming in the future.
Well, you can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative. You will not find me on Twitter because each time I log into that website, I feel like I want to slap the shit out of somebody. You can find me on Blue Sky at rentoperative dot social, and you can find me on Twitch at renegade underscore operative.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can. You can
No.
find me there playing Doom: The Dark Ages because that game is pretty damn fun. So we're gonna sign out. We will see you guys when. Oh, they're definitely showing more Virtua Fighter. I cannot wait. I'm gonna fucking explode. So when they do, we will be talking about it. But until then, we will see you people next time. Later.
Say fighting games, Virtual Fighter. Sega, please save us.